Good afternoon, Reuben.
Good
How's your week
afternoon.
been?
It's been good.
That's good. What have you been up to?
Not much.
I heard you recently finished your course that you were studying.
Yes, I did. I recently went and picked up the certificate. It took 3 months. I finished back in July, I think,
Yeah.
and it took for them a while to print out the certificate, and went and picked it up.
Yeah.
Now I framed it on my wall.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And how does it feel like finishing that course you were studying?
Feels pretty surreal. It was something I was always interested in, but I never got the score I wanted to get. But when I found that I could do the certificate and still get into either diploma or bachelor just by completing it, I was like, that's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so now that I've finished it, I plan to progress further into, I think, the diploma, because then that can also go into the bachelor. But if I don't feel like carrying on with the 3 years, I can at least do the 1 year and have something to show for that effort, which is pretty cool. This area was always something I wanted to do as well.
And the alternate pathways are also pretty good because usually a diploma is cheaper than the first year of a bachelor.
Yeah.
But you can also skip the first year of a bachelor if you do a diploma in the same field.
Exactly. So that's kind of how that works. So this certificate was like a prerequisite to then get into either the diploma or year 1 of the bachelor. And if I did the diploma, it goes into year 2 of the bachelor. So that's kind of what I was going to do,
Yeah.
kind of like stepping stones for career.
Yeah. Career study. Yeah. Thank you, Reuben, for participating in the podcast.
My
Today,
pleasure.
I would like to learn more about you, your childhood, your school life, returning to school for work, your cybersecurity studies at Swinburne, and much more. Reuben, which suburb did you grow up in, and what did you love most about it?
Well, I grew up in Beaumaris, so very local to the area, especially to Bowie Secondary. I don't think there's... I went to Bowie North Primary. That was fun. That's where I first met Miss Shaves, the principal, because she was actively in the classrooms there when I was in year 6 before then meeting her at orientation at the MCG in 2018. So that was fun. I got to meet the foundation level staff. Yeah, it's not much in the area. Beaumaris is great. I love the area, especially the surrounding suburbs. The beaches are great. I'm a very beach person. I'm not much of a country person.
Yeah.
So having that water just there is amazing. And during lockdown, it was great to just, because that was within our 5Ks, so just pop down to the beach, which I think everyone did. So
Yeah.
whatevs.
And the beach road's pretty good to walk on, especially during that period.
Absolutely. Especially in the warm summer. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
Everyone's down there, but if you can find a nice spot where there's no one, it's perfect.
Yeah, because me and my dad did that a lot in that 2020 period. Yeah.
Getting out and exercising was a big thing back then. You kind of had to, because otherwise you just sit there all day doing pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
So it was good for your mental health as well. Getting out and walking just to get those endorphins flowing was something that kept me going in that time.
Yeah. Looking back, were there any issues in the community that could have been addressed by the Bayside City Council?
I don't think so. Could be just because I wasn't on top of them, but I never really had any major concerns to address to the council. There was always the graffiti on some people's like fences that they had to take up, but I never had any issue with it. No, I think it was always pretty mellow. It is the suburbs after all. There aren't too many crimes and things like that, so it was pretty comfortable, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
I'm happy where I was.
How would you describe your childhood and why?
And why? How would I describe my childhood? It was very influential for my parents a lot of the time. My mum is very out there. She liked to take me to concerts, see these people, be this big music influence on me. My dad was as well, and more in the classical side. He was very good at music. So that's been a big influence on me.
What instruments did he play?
He played pretty much everything. He plays still, the keyboard and the guitar, but he also used to play the clarinet growing up. He dabbled in everything. He's probably the equivalent of Charlie Puth's Perfect Pitch, and then we have Perfect Pitch at home, and then it's just my dad. So that's pretty impressive. I don't quite have his talent, but
Not yet.
not yet. I'm trying. I'm trying, working real hard, but yeah, they've both been pretty much a big influence on me in that degree, as well as all other aspects. I'm probably one of the only people in Balmoral or the local area that's not heavily into football. So come that time, I feel a bit ostracized, but other people have their interests, I have mine. We can still get along.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because there's a lot of really good, I guess. There's the Balmoral Sharks, I believe, but are they a basketball team or are they also like a footy team? But there's also a lot of like sporting grounds, like the MCC and like all the
Yeah.
other pitches. Yeah.
I like going to the football because of that tribal feeling. Like when you are amongst the people in the same team and they're all chanting, like that whole feeling, I get it, and it's fantastic. I might not watch it for the game per se, but when you're amongst all that emotion, it's really empowering. Empowering might not be the right word, but you can feel it, yeah. It's very emotive.
Yeah. What is the earliest memory you can remember and how does it make you feel?
Earliest memory. I've got a ton of core memories back then, but then they're all a bit wacky. Maybe there's something someone said that my brain's just decided to remember forever, or a way someone looked at me and went, oh. I can't pinpoint the earliest memory, but one of the ones I can recall are, it's not even that really early. It was me, 10 years old, big milestone, turning 10, and we went to Sydney. And it was like probably the first time I ever recall actually travelling somewhere, and that was a big deal. It made me feel magical. And I think the captain of the airplane even said over the intercom, "Happy birthday," and I was like, what? Bit of a surprise. It made me feel special.
Was it your birthday?
Yeah. That was very fun.
Were your parents a part of the surprise? Like, did they plan it in advance, or was it just like a coincidence?
I think they did. They say they didn't, but I think when we got on, either mum or dad said to the pilot, "It's his birthday," and when we landed in Sydney, they're like, "Happy birthday!" And I had kind of a jump scare, but not just a surprise. I think I didn't even notice it at first, but mum was filming, and I went, "Ah!" So that was the surprise.
Yeah.
Completely went over my head, but it's fun.
Yeah. Reuben, I know you have an affinity. Is that right?
Affinity? Yeah?
Like, yeah, okay.
Infinity stones? I don't know.
Like, attraction to or or enjoyment of. Is
Yeah.
that affinity?
Yeah.
Okay? I probably didn't like say it right, but I know you have an affinity for technology since you are a support technician at school. When did you first start an interest for technology?
Probably when I was born. Like, right from the get-go. It's kind of a general interest in everyone in my family. My brother's into it. I'm into it. My mum and dad both work in IT. It's just something that's just always been there, and I guess I natively just was drawn to it, seeing the inner workings of it, or how something connects to this, or how certain things improve people's life. So when I was recommended, I wasn't actually offered it first, but I was recommended to work at IT at Bowie Secondary. I was like, absolutely. Because I had a couple of jobs before that, but they were hospitality things. Like I'm not a huge drinker, but I worked in a bar, so it was kind of an oxymoron when someone would come and ask me, oh, what do you recommend? I'm like, I have absolutely no idea. Water's great. Water with ice. But when I was able to get into IT, I was like, oh, I can nail this. And I think I do. I don't want to say I'm the best at it, but I think I do. I think I give it a pretty good crack, and I'm definitely going to continue this career path because it's always something that's connected with me. And if you do that as a job, does it ever really feel like working? No, I just get to yap about stuff I know and it's a job. Pretty fun.
And you get to play with people's like gadgets and then fix them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I get to explain to them why that's working, at least to the people that are interested. There's many people that aren't, and I'll just say, look, this is how you can fix it. I'll give them the cut down version. But when someone always asks more information, that's when it really lights up and you can open up more and you connect with that person. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And you went to Balmoral Secondary College. Why did you or your parents choose that school?
I don't think it was their first choice. I think I was almost going to go to Sandringham, but something to do with my birthday and being in that year. But because I was able to go into the next year, I was able to be in the foundation year for Bowie Secondary, and I think they picked it because it was going to be a very major shift in the schooling style system, because it's completely different building, open spaces, different study designs, different ways of learning, probably less traditional apart from the whole VCE, but much more hands-on and open to the several different ways of learning. So this might not click for someone else, but this will, and then they can excel in that area. I think the innovation there and open arms for the many different ways people learn, I think is probably what drew them to sending me there the most. Because I'm myself, I'm never good in a test. If you put me in a room, sheet of paper, clock on the wall, all the information is going to go out in my head. But I'm more of a hands-on person. So if you tell me all this stuff, I'll go, that's great. I don't remember any of it. But if you give me the thing to do, it's going to stick in my head more. Yeah. Which is, I think, why they sent me there.
And they also started with the vet program, I believe, maybe 2 years ago or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think Bjorn did it. He went and did sound production at Box Hill. I think 2023. Yeah. I personally didn't do it, but I was always fascinated by it. And happy for the people that did do it. And they've probably found something they like doing. So win-win for everyone.
Definitely, yeah. Because it's a great form of, I guess, hands-on education that they provide for all senior students, including VC1s, to do a vet subject, which the school pays for. And you might even find your career that way.
Absolutely. I like how when you pick a subject, you pick like diverse ones, but there's always going to be that one that clicks with you. And for me, that was applied computing because, of course, technology. The others I found fun because I got to experience them, like media, like psychology. I was never good at math, and then English, but applied computing always stuck with me, and I think that's why I wanted to pursue that in uni, in my career path, because I was always interested in it in childhood and growing up. So being able to study that was just a breeze, and then being able to pursue that is just the best.
And applied computing is more so the physical side rather than like the programming and code side.
I think there was a lot of programming. It's more so coding in applied computing and then into software development. But that base foundation is what helped me in the certificate, because I had to also do a bit of coding, but then I got to do more stuff with cloud infrastructure, networking. I got to build my own network and build my own system and control it. That was fun. I got to implement that somewhere. That was fantastic.
Because something my mum, because it's interesting you mentioned about like not being so good at maths, because my mom's always telling me about how like, you know, if you're good at maths, you could thrive in like the IT industry, because like, I think she thinks the programming is a lot of maths involved, because it's numbers.
Yeah, it's logic based, but it's not per se math, because you can get the code to do the math for you. That's the best part. If you have a good understanding of math, you'll probably do better than I will. But coding is a lot more logic based, like if this, then this, or else do this, which is a lot more clicky for my brain than 48 times 62 divided by a billion is this number. My brain just goes, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I like a lot more logic based stuff.
And a lot of like variables and like all the other stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think applied computing also stuck with me compared to like psychology, because in psychology, fantastic subject, but you know, you're studying a lot of how people, like what people think, how they, external factors, all that sort of stuff, which is very dependent on the person. Where in computing, it's very logic based. There's no in between. There's no spectrum. It's either this or this, which is very, I guess it's easier to comprehend.
Yeah.
Because if something's broken, it's not it could work. It's no, there's something broken. Find out where it went wrong and fix it. That's kind of why I like, I guess, the troubleshooting aspect of it as well, which is why the school IT support is fantastic, because it's a lot of troubleshooting. This isn't turning on. What could be the cause? And you have to go through the whole, what's the word?
Checklist?
No, there's a word for it.
Process?
Order of elimination. If it's not this, check this, check this, check this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. It just clicks for me the most. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
What are the 3 things that could have been improved about the school, and why?
Could get in a lot of trouble.
Then.
I could say the things people want most, like, I don't know, better bullying response, like prevention, I guess. I don't know. I found the school great for what it was. I liked the people. I liked the teachers. I liked the subjects. The teachers didn't make you feel stupid, because they're there to help. You actually felt able to ask a question, like say, "Is this wrong? How can I fix this?" Rather than being terrified of them for just belittling you for getting something wrong. So that's why I found no issue with the teachers, with the students, with anyone. I don't think I was ever bullied, at least not that I can recall. But that's just my experience. I can't speak for everyone.
Yeah.
They might have some other issues that they like to address, and I'd like to understand where they're coming from. I like to help them the best I can. But for me, nah.
The obvious one might be the bathrooms. That one comes up a lot.
Yeah, the jelly cups in the toilets weren't exactly great. Or
The footy balls in the toilets.
that, or getting toilet paper, dampening it, and then sticking it to the ceiling. That was a bit unique, but, you know.
There's also some that have started like using the soap, making the floor all slippery, and just sliding across like ice skating. It's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the toilet.
Great, I guess we got our own icing rink. Fantastic. Do that to the gym, that'd be fun. Just have a massive ice skating rink, or skate rolling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never understood the desire to trash the facilities. Like they're there, just use them the way they're supposed to. You don't have to go and destroy the toilets.
Yeah.
Like, what are you getting out of that? Maybe a laugh? I just never understood it.
And there are more fun things to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why go destroy the bathroom? Like, I just can't see the appeal, I guess. But I guess that's just me.
And then I guess outside of the bathrooms, there's also like a lot of food fighting where throwing food at each other and tossing up high a couple of stories, and then
I remember in maybe year 7, year 8, there was a couple of experiences. I'm not going to name them by name, but in year 7, I remember one student that just in the middle of class got up and pelted his laptop. Just randomly, just got up and full on pelted it. That was a bit unique. And then in year 8, there was a student that rolled an ottoman from the top level all the way down to the bottom on the stairs. Okay.
An ottoman is...
You know the big yellow seat, the kind of stool thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
like the round ones that are like in the library usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolled one of those right from the top down to the bottom. For fun, I guess. Okay. I think they got in trouble. There's some things I just don't understand.
Definitely, yeah. Oh wait, you already kind of mentioned the subjects that fascinated you the most.
I
But
can keep talking about them if you'd like.
yeah, what attracted you to the subjects more than the others? And what about the teachers made you like the subject more or less?
Okay, that's definitely going to get me in trouble.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I guess it just comes down to who you are. For me, it was definitely applied computing that was probably my top. Out of the... Did you want to do all subjects or just VCE?
Out of all.
Out of all of them? Nah, it's a big spectrum. 7 and 8, communicate, relate, our world, healthy lifestyles, create visual, create performance. Maths.
Best?
Best. It's a lot of subjects. Best was fun. It's the things we did in those classrooms, in those classes have changed since coming from 2018, 2019 to now. Like we still had do you know the Toy Time PBL where they made toys in Best? That was fun. I think we had that one. I made slime. Made Minecraft worlds in Communicate Relate. That was a lot of fun. I think then we had to write a story and then build that world in Minecraft. That was just dream come true. Playing Minecraft from 4 years old to that, amazing. Never clicked with maths. Our world, I'm not a massive history buff. Like I don't connect that much. I find it somewhat interesting, but I guess it depends on what specifically and then also how I'm learning it. Because if I'm reading a book on the history, I don't like reading books. I'm more of a visual person.
Yeah.
So if I'm watching a film or some form of documentary, clicks way better than some text on paper. But yeah, I can't remember much of the early subjects. And then going into the specialisms, that was fun. I did music studio, by far my favourite. Got to make a song. Then Events That Changed the World, that was just more history. Don't Stop the Music, got to make another song in that, which was also English, so pretty fun. Don't remember much of the others. Be an author.
Did you be a filmmaker?
I didn't do be a filmmaker. I don't remember what I did. There was also that, The Future, I think is what it was called.
Driving in the Future?
Maybe. Something to do with, the only thing I can recall from learning that subject was genetically modified stuff. And I was like, that's pretty fun. But yeah, the most I can remember is the more recent stuff, year 11, 12, VCE, media, applied computing, psychology, maths and English. Hated maths.
Yeah.
No, like the teachers are great, but it's the actual math just never clicked with me.
Yeah.
Everything else was pretty fun.
Did your parents ever bitch you into tutoring for math?
No, I think the only time I got tutoring was like a once-off, and that was before my Year 12 exams. One of my cousins teaches English at Melbourne Uni, and his friend taught English language, and that's what I did. So as a, hey, amongst friends kind of thing, me and my friend got some tutoring from them, kind of, I don't want to say pro bono, it wasn't, we didn't pay, but just some, going over all the stuff, just to kind of cram 2 years of knowledge into 2 hours to then write for that exam. So that's kind of the only tutoring I ever got, but
Yeah.
could have probably done with a lot more of it, but
Yeah.
too late now.
I guess so. What hobbies or extracurricular activities did you have outside of school?
To do with school, Southern FM for media, that was fun. I think I did it for the 3 years from 2020 to 2023.
And what was Southern FM?
What was it?
Yeah.
A radio show amongst me, another Reuben. It was the Reuben and Reuben show, and Bjorn. We talked about all sorts of stuff. We had a couple of interviews, though I can't quite remember who they were. I think there were some school staff, some original school staff. There were some segments like Would You Rather with Mr. Slocum's son. That was always fun because I loved the questions. There was some other segments, can't quite remember them. It was in the early days, I just can't. But it was a lot of fun. I don't think I did much more than that outside of school. There's nothing really else clicked with me. I never did any sporting clubs. I never did those types of inter-school sports. Yeah, I think Southern FM's the one that's clicked with me the most.
Any instruments you were practicing outside of school?
From 2022, I started to pick up the guitar. Still play to this day. And since I never really had a kind of outlet, I guess you'd call it, to, when you do all this studying and you just need something to calm your mind down, relax. I guess there's always watching a movie or playing video games or whatever. But when I picked up the guitar, that was just something to, I don't know, outlet all that and putting some dedication into studying and then a bit of dedication into that and then just flipping between the two. You get better at both and you don't get sick of one or the other for doing it hours on end. It was a good in-between activity and something that can express me, I guess.
And I guess a good dopamine detox or study detox. Brain break.
Absolutely. And a good way to get off the screens, I guess. Just to not doom scroll. Just something that was very good.
And when the school was in like its foundation stages, was the work a lot of like Microsoft OneNote as well, or different?
Yes. I think we got our laptops term 2 of 2018. So for that first, maybe term 3, that first entire term at least, we got our work, like our actions, in the form of printouts, and we also had a binder. I'm sure I could find it at home somewhere, because I think I still have it somewhere. But we had paper, pen, all those actions, and you put them back in the binder, and you had to carry that around until we got our laptops, and then everything was just so much better. Teams. I think our year level abused Teams a bit with the teachers, and I'm kind of ashamed to be part of that. But going to online was very good, which is what set us up for such an easy transition into remote learning. It was just, I remember some schools, I think Cornish College, they emailed their work out, had to do it, then email it back. It wasn't just all in the OneNote. And I think some were actually, maybe Cornish was the physical mail, maybe it was the email, but one of them actually got sent physical mail to do and write in, and then had to send it back to the college. So you can imagine if your mail got delayed, where's your work?
Yeah.
I don't know. The driver took it to New South Wales. I don't know.
And then if they lose the packaging or, yeah.
So I think the online aspect of it was really good, and it meant you only had to carry around a laptop, not 7 different books, which is why I think our bags were designed with just one sleeve. That's for your laptop, and then your lunch, and then that's everything you really need, apart from the extra books. But I don't think I ever bought any, so I think I was all good.
Yeah, yeah. And I do remember that every time there was like a new year, I'm not sure if they do it still now, but there was this like big equipment order that you'd make with like a box with like a pencil case and a bunch of different stuff. But when you don't really use the books, you kind of just don't end up using all the equipment.
Yeah, I think part of the it might have been just for the courses, for the activities you get to do. But yeah, I think I always bought the.
If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
What would you call it? Stationery package. I think I always bought it, but I never really used the books or the pens or the glue sticks or the pencil case. It's just unnecessary if everything's on your laptop.
Yeah.
All you need is a stylus and
you're good to go.
yeah, apart from the paper mache stuff, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's kind of all you need.
And then they ended up like kind of phasing out all the actual writing down work.
I think we got a pair of headphones as well. They were just terrible. I think they broke really easy. They were kind of like those tiny over-ear ones, and they were like felt like they were $2 from Temu, but
Yeah.
you know. And our laptops back then sucked. We had
Really?
the old Mix 510s. Terrible. Somehow Bjorn managed to get them going the entire 6 years. I applaud him for that, but there was just a lot of issues. I remember getting one, and I think that lasted me a term, and then my mum realised how shit they were. Can I swear?
Yeah, it's okay.
Realised how bad they were, and swapped it out and got me something else. And we sold that to my younger cousin up in the hills. So they were bad laptops.
Yeah.
Thank God they don't make them anymore. But no, you know the Microsoft Surface Pro, the one with the kickstand?
Yeah.
Exactly that, but Lenovo, and it sucked. Sucked.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be some road bumps. It's not going to be a smooth road every time.
I'm pretty sure the laptop that Luca had before he got like the Apple Mac one, I believe he had the Windows Surface Pro or something similar.
I think he had what I use as my second laptop, because I've also got a Mac, but when I need a Windows machine, because the school is a Windows predominant environment, it's a Lenovo Yoga. And it's fantastic, but yeah, at the end of the day, you can't really beat the Mac build quality.
Yeah.
I'm not going to delve into tech specs right now, but it's a great laptop. But the mixers sucked. I did them for 2 years.
Yeah. Did you find any challenges trying to fix students' laptops if they had like a different brand? Like if they brought a Mac that was faulty versus like the
Well, that's the best
standard?
part. Macs, we never see them. Never. The only time we see them is to get them connected to the internet. But once that's done, or give them the access to the printers. But apart from that, never see them. Have never seen one. Or if they do come down, it's something to do with their Apple ID, which we can fix. But if it's hardware, never seen a Mac. But if a student brings a device outside from the portal, we can do our best to hope that it's a software thing and fix it. But if it's a hardware thing, usually we have to tell them to go back to where they purchased it from. But if it's school purchased, then that's where we can help. Sometimes we can actually help get it repaired as long as the laptop has cover. Because the person we go through just cares if it has warranty, and then they'll fix it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we do our best to help them out, so they don't have to wait too long. Because sometimes it can take a wee while for the laptop to get fixed. Sometimes it takes a day, but we do our best. Have spares on hand.
Yeah. And what brand do you guys use for the spare laptops that you hand out or mark?
They're all Lenovo, same as the school laptops, but they're donated ones from Bowie North, and I remember using them when I was in primary school. That's how old they are, and but they're just there to get the students by. They're not there to replace everything. They might not have. I don't think they have touchscreen. I don't think the hardware can even run current day software. So they've got some. I think they still have Windows 10 or something. And every app like OneNote has to be used through the browser. It can't run the app, but it's just there to get them by until they get their own laptop back. It's not there to replace it. Sometimes they go missing. Yay! It's kind of why we do an IOU thing. But
And with the IOU thing, what's the most valuable, or what's the kind of strangest item they've given you as part of the IOU?
most valuable, probably a phone or a credit card. Something that they will return for. That's the entire point. If they give us something they won't return for, then it's pointless. Strangest? Someone's pants. Yeah. Yeah.
What sort of pants? Is it like a designer brand or just...
No, they're pants. It was, the sport uniform tracky pants, those, but they had their sport uniform shorts underneath, so it didn't just go commando. But it was definitely a surprise for them to just that was just fascinating. I don't think I'll ever forget it. And it's also not an invitation to try and out-weird that, because that was just weird. But
Is that like not allowed, or at least anymore?
no, I mean, it's for something for them to come back for. That's why we prefer a phone or AirPods or their watch or something. Something they'll actually remember to bring the laptop back. So like a shoe, usually, I don't think we took shoes. I think admin took shoes, like the reception. I don't think they do it anymore, but I remember them doing that. But yeah, I don't, because you need these things. I think it's more so just cut down to stationery. So I think now, if you were to give me your pants, one, don't. Two, I think we just say, no, would you have a phone or something? I don't remember why we did that, but...
Because like everyone should have a phone in high school at that point.
Everyone most definitely has a phone, so that's the primary thing we ask for. But if they don't have one, or if they can't give it up, then yeah, AirPods, watch, debit card, Mikey card, something of value.
Yeah.
Just not pants.
Definitely not pants.
We're not taking pants anymore.
Maybe like a sports jacket would work better.
Yeah,
But still, clothing like...
preferably not, but I don't know, if times are dire, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they're never that bad for people to give them pants, but sure.
Yeah.
To each their own, I guess.
I guess, yeah. How was your graduation, and what did it feel like to finally finish school?
Graduation was really good. Going back to the MCG was incredible, because it kind of felt like a full circle, because when we had our orientation back in 2018 for the foundation year, the building wasn't finished yet. So our orientation started at Bowie North, then we took a bus ride all the way to the MCG. So our orientation was at the MCG. So then to do school and then come back at the MCG just felt like a closed loop. It felt really, this is where it all started kind of thing, which is quite fun. As for how did it make me feel that I finished school, I had mixed feelings, because technically we didn't, because when we all sat down and had the dinner, it was fantastic, But that's when Miss Shave said, and we'll see you all back in next week because exams. So we graduated before doing exams, so it didn't feel like I finished because I was just going to be back there next week. But in terms of the actual ceremony, the dinner, meeting everyone, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Was most of your year level like the foundation students, or was there a lot more new students who joined the school and it ended up being like a 50-50?
I think throughout the year there was a good, I would say 110 or something of our year level. The plaque is outside this principal's office, and there's some people I remember not seeing towards the later years, so they left, but then we had some new people come in. I think on average between every year maybe 5 new people joined and some left, so it was probably 50% the same towards the end of the school, but it was always a surreal feeling when we joined. It was just us, and then the next year we had the year come under, but we were always the top year. We never had someone above us. We never had, I guess, role models. So during that first year it was very quiet, but at the same time the school was still being built, so we didn't exactly have much to reign over, I guess. It was only until term 2 that I think the main building actually opened up, and day 1 someone hit the fire alarm. So that was fun. But yeah, surreal feeling.
Yeah. And since you guys were like the only ones in the school and you didn't really have that inspiration, did you feel a increased pressure when other students joined the school, and since you were always the oldest, to like lead by a certain example? Or
I think there was a lot of, I guess, looking up to us because we were always the top year level. So the year level coming in would look up at us, but we had no one to look up to. I guess the teachers. Me personally, I don't think we've ever felt pressure to be a role model. There was always, I guess, not the pressure, but there was always the the feeling that we had to be a role model, or encouragement from the others, like you are their role model, so if we behave they'll behave, that sort of thing. I think the most pressure I could actually feel was finishing VCE, because we were the first ever year level. There was a lot of eyes on us to see if we would do well, because that would give the school, I don't want to say reputation, but that's how other people would perceive the school. If we were the guinea pigs. If we were the first year level up, and however we did coming out, they'll be like, oh, okay, see my kid here or not. I think that's where the pressure really set in. But in terms of being a role model to the younger year levels, I don't think they cared about us that way anyway. So
yeah.
I don't remember looking up to the year 6s in primary school when I was in year 5 going, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I think they were just older people that were just there. And I just hung out with my friends. So I think it was the same for them to us. Could have been a role model, but I don't think they really looked at us that way.
And when there was the foundation year, so there was like a lot less students and you were used to being the only ones, and when the other year levels joined, did you see other members of your foundation year level have more bullying with like the younger year levels, or was there less bullying versus what you might see nowadays with the whole year 12s and everything?
That's tough, because I don't think I ever saw any perceived bullying. There was definitely, you could probably put money on it. Like, I bet there was definitely some bullying going on, but it was just that sort of under the radar. Like, I never saw it, but it might have been happening. So I can't really give an accurate an accurate guess as to which year had the most, because I never saw it. But I'd like to think that I'd like to hope it's gotten better. I'd like to think it has, but I'm not one to speak for on that end result, because I've never been at that end stick myself. But I hope That's all I can.
Because I feel like there's a separate form of bullying that happens from the older students to the younger ones, and when the younger ones become older, some of them end up repeating that behavior they experienced when they were in that position. And I believe if you guys were the foundation students and you didn't have the older students that could have bullied some of the students in the lower year levels, you may have been, I guess, maybe not the friendliest, or maybe the friendliest, but like the least bullying kind of year level,
Yeah, maybe.
with least like traumatized from other students, because there weren't any.
I mean, that's true. I guess, again, I can't speak because I never saw any, but maybe there was a thing of, like, first year, because it was just us, so maybe there was some bullying amongst each other. But the second another year level came in, they just, went down the ladder and just looked down on them because they were the younger year level. Maybe. I hope not, but that I can't really say. I never saw it myself, never experienced it. The only thing I can is that I hope it's gotten better.
Yeah. I heard you mention you were working on the 88.3 radio channel called the Southern FM. Could you share what were you doing on the radio station, and if you were, well, you did mention working with others like Reuben and Bjorn, but could you dive deeper on the certain, I guess, topics of discussion, or the whole experience of setting up the radio and then running the radio kind of channel or
Yeah,
show?
I think the whole process, it's changed over time, because we used to be very scripted, like to what we would say. It was text on a page, and then in the later years it became more dot points of ideas and then just riff off that, which kind of made it like you could hear, if you listened back, I guess, through the timeline, the discography, because I'm an artist, you can hear it went from kind of robotic and scripted to more natural, flowing and human, which I think was probably the best change.
Right.
Of course the segments changed and the topics and what we did changed, but the entire process was more, in the early days, the entire runtime, put in the segments of what they are, and then in those segments write down, this person says this person says this person says this sound plays, this person says this. And then later on it got to the same kind of runtime with segments, but then it would be dot points. This person might bring this up, talk about this for a bit, and then the next segment, same kind of thing. That was the planning side, and then getting to it. Of course, you've got that slight pressure that it's live, you don't want to stuff it up. And of course, you thinking, oh, I can't stuff this up, makes you like more susceptible to stuffing up. I know, I've done it. It was the most stressed I've probably ever felt, because it was just sheer, and you blank, and then when you go quiet, they go, speak. And then you just are lost for words. But you learn not to just go with the flow, just comment and just go, yeah, and then just, sometimes you forget that you're on radio, and then you're just having a conversation with that person in the room, and then you go, oh right, I'm on radio. You just forget, and then, but when you listen back, it just sounds like a conversation. It's a really great thing.
And how do you listen back, since it's live? Wouldn't the audio kind of get lost after you go off air?
There's archives. It gets recorded, so you can just go back, click it, and you just listen back to yourself and go, that's great. So I can't hear myself live because it's live, but going back into the archive and listening to the pre-recorded shows, I can tell we've gotten better.
Yeah.
And I think I've got most of them.
And is there an archive that you can access if you aren't in the studio? Like you can see like maybe a channel or like a website page where they have everyone's shows from like...
I believe they do on their website. Bjorn's a person to ask because he does all that sort of stuff. I'm not too certain because I've only seen them in their archive, but I believe they've got their archive on the website for that particular show, because I think they've got them for multiple different shows. I don't know if we have ours because we weren't exactly too long running. It was 3 years, but Maybe they do. I have to check
Yeah, because it'll be cool to like listen back.
and go, that was 5 years ago. Ugh. And then you hear your child voice, like, oh. When you listen back to yourself, you go, I don't like this. But the later years, I can listen back to because it sounds more human. I don't sound like I'm reading text off a script and then messing up a word.
Yeah. If you ever want to launch a podcast, it'll help to just take the archive and kind of have a head start with like a library of content.
Exactly. That's why I think podcasts are great, because you can also go back and edit them.
Yeah.
But I guess there's that added pressure of radio because it's live. If you stuff up, everyone's going to hear it. But if you stuff up in a podcast, you can just go, eh.
Just remove it.
Exactly.
Never happened.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I kind of always wanted to start a podcast, but then you've got all those billions of ones out there. It's too saturated now. But doing it for me would be fun.
Yeah. And like even the one I'm doing, like I'm finding it really fun. Like it's a really big passion to do, and you learn so much about people that you otherwise wouldn't have known as much. Even if it's like a colleague, classmate, like you might see them every day, but the good morning, how are you doesn't really dive deeper into them.
That's not telling you about the person. I think, that's why I'd like to do one just for me. And if I wanted to publish it, I could, but it'd be for me, not for other people. But if they want to listen into it, they can. But it's just me yapping on about something with a friend. It's just a conversation that they can listen to if they want to. That's kind of why I like podcasts so much.
Yeah. What is it like being a radio show host?
At first, terrifying. But you get, like everything, you get used to it. You stuff up less, you get more comfortable. I think I did it for long enough to know that it was definitely fun. I wouldn't regret it, but it wasn't something I wanted to continue doing or pursue, that sort of thing. I know because I keep getting comments from like my mum and all that, like, you should do the radio show again. And I'm like, it was fun, but it just wasn't me. It's like someone that might enjoy a particular subject in school, and then they go, I think I like this better, but then still going, you should do it. It's like, I'm good. It was definitely fun. I wouldn't ever regret not doing it, but yeah, I think I'd rather do a podcast.
Definitely, yeah. I'd also rather do a podcast because it's kind of like more flexible.
They're more chill. They're more.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it, and you can just talk. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I guess put on hey, so today we're going to be talking about it. You just be you. It's the greatest thing about them.
And then like people can share so much more deep information that otherwise if it was live, they'd be a lot more like closed off, or they'd be a lot more careful about what they share, especially in like a professional setting. Like I remember yourself mentioning like, oh, this might get me in trouble.
Yeah.
And like, if you ever want, you can always, I make the video unlisted after I edit it, send the guest the link, and then once they view it, they can give me advice like saying, all good to publish. Or they might say, I love it, could you just remove that one part, one story, and then I just cut it from the whole thing and just upload it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of podcasts. They're so much more flexible. Because radio, you might say something that you shouldn't have, and you're like, well, that's gone to everyone, so that kind of sucks. But a podcast, you could say something, review it. Reviewing is the best part, and just go snip, 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 done.
Yeah.
Bam, it's done. And it still feels natural because it's just talking. It's great.
On the radio, the Southern FM, how many weekly viewers, is that the right word? Or listeners? Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. The only person I know that was definitely listening was my mum. But as for who was listening and how many, I couldn't tell you. I've had a glimpse into the... this is how I knew it wasn't something I wanted to keep doing. It's because I guess it never sparked so much out of me, but I also got a glimpse as to the professional radio side at Nova. and it was just full on. And I was like, yeah, at least on the back, like the back house workhorse side, because you could do this and it'd be great. You could just talk, and that would have been great. But it's just,
Yeah.
something that I admire and definitely respect to the people that do it, but it's just not me.
Yeah. Would there be like a active listener like count in the studio anywhere?
Not that I ever saw. Maybe. I couldn't tell you. I
Yeah.
don't think so. Because it'd be hard to keep track of that metric. For everyone that tunes in on the radio in their car, or on a physical radio, or on the TV, it's hard to count that metric, I guess.
And then when they switch channel, it just goes down instantly and then up and...
Because you know how like you click on a YouTube video, it doesn't instantly tick up in one view.
Yeah.
It kind of takes a while for it to sync. I think if it was to work, it'd be sort of like that. So it'd never be at an accurate metric, but I'm sure it could be done.
It'll probably help if you see like, hey, 10 people listening to this, so we can kind of flow more naturally. And then if you see like 2,000 people listening to this, you're like...
I think that's where it probably scare people a lot, because if they saw a metric of how many people listen to like Kiss, Gold, Nova, hundreds of thousands, if you saw that metric, you'd probably crap yourself and become a lot more nervous. So I think not having the metric kind of helps you be grounded, I guess, more human, because one person could be listening, 1,000 people could be. You don't know, but you'll still be you. I think that's kind of the beauty of not knowing how many.
Yeah.
It's kind of like recording a YouTube video at home. You don't have a live audience watching you record that.
Yeah.
But it's only until afterwards that you see the metric go up.
Or just stay flat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens.
But you just do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's the best part of it.
Whereas live streaming is similar, where you see the metric like grow or decline.
Exactly. And depending on how many people are viewing, changes what you do or what you say on it. Someone might, you could be just talking to one person on your stream. It's like you're having a conversation. But then you've got 10,000 people on your stream, and then you've got billions of messages. All of a sudden, it's you in front of an audience, and then you just have to, I guess, talk to yourself mostly, and then see the chat and go, oh yeah, that's funny. Get some ideas from them, but it drastically changes depending on how many are watching it, I guess.
And changes how enthusiastic or your motivation levels when you see people just leaving in like the hundreds.
Yeah, I think that's probably the worst part of it. You get demotivated if you see a huge hunk of it leave, and I think it's better that you can't see it, because then you can keep the motivation going. You can keep thinking, oh, there's this many people listening. If there's not, who cares? You don't know. You're being you. You're doing what you like. I think that's the beauty of it.
Why did you start doing the Southern FM radio show?
Peer pressure. No. I think it was a recommendation from, I guess, friends, teachers, parents. They all just said, give it a go. You might like it, you might not. And I did. And I kept doing it for 3 years. So I think that shows I did actually kind of like it. But then once school wrapped up, I was like, I think I can. I think keeping it in school was pretty good. But yeah, I think the people I did the show with, the other Reuben and Bjorn was like, you should do it. No harm. And so did my parents, going, you might like it, you might not. Yeah, I think I'm grateful that they did, because I probably never would have done it myself. I'm not the type to step outside my comfort zone, bracing the wild, going, I can take on anything. I think there was a bit of fear in it, but I'm grateful they encouraged me, and I'm grateful I did it.
Yeah. Was there an interview or conversation in your radio show that you remember most vividly, either the most difficult or the easiest and most enjoyable?
Conversation? Probably not. Because a lot of it was... The one I can remember the most clearly was the pre-recorded one we did for a media sat for my friend Bjorn, because it was the most recent, but also just the one where we got to talk about whatever we wanted. It was pre-recorded. It never went to air. It was a podcast, essentially. But we just talked about, I guess, current events that were happening. What was this, 2023? I don't know. I think Ed Sheeran was coming. We were talking about that. Other stuff. I think we incorporated some old segments, like Would You Rather. That was always fun, because the questions were always just either the wackiest or ones that really got you thinking. I think that segment was probably the most enjoyable across all of the radio show I did, even with the actual live one, because Mr. Slocum's son did the questions, and the questions were always real brain thinkers. So I was like, yep, this is definitely my favourite part. So I think we kept that for the media sat. And if I was to ever do another one, I'd probably keep that segment. But
That might be a good segment I could take for my own podcast. Cause
just occasional 3 questions, 3 would you rathers, just to that's how you can probably get to know people. Because depending on their answer, you can kind of get a feel for that person.
Because what I currently use is I use like a Marcel Proust questionnaire script, which kind of has like some kind of deep, thought-provoking questions, but they're not really would you rather. They're kind of like,
kind of just, what's your take on this?
yeah, or what would you choose, or or what's your favorite this,
Yeah, okay. Clever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really my questions, but I kind of snagged it and
Helps you get to know your guest, and that is yours, so
yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered any unforeseen situations that required quick reactions and improvement?
Yes, at my old job at the yacht club, we had, because we hosted. I'm gonna have to talk in past tense. I don't work there anymore. We hosted events, like private events, like functions, but at the same time we also kept it open to the public. So there was like a divider for the private event, and then the public could go to the other side. There was one guest that didn't understand that, and they came in the private section, and I very calmly explained, you'll have to move, and he got a bit agitated, saying things like, I like the way you're talking to me, and I got a bit terrified because I didn't think I said anything wrong. But that I had to quickly think in my head, what can I say, what can I do? And I got someone else involved, a co-worker, to reiterate what I said, so they could get the clear message across, and then get the supervisor in to also convey that message across, which also showed them where to go, all that sort of stuff, while I tended to the private function.
Yeah. Was that kind of like a wedding, or was it a different
I think it was a
function?
21st. Could have been a wedding, but I went right into the early hours, so 3 a.m. going home, fun.
Oh, you had to stay that long?
Yep. So much fun. I think I got there at like 7. So, great fun. Cleaning up was always a nightmare.
Was it planned to stay until 3 a.m. or do you have to just follow whatever?
It was a bit ambiguous because the rules were kind of like, we technically shut at, I think, 10. But those types of events do have a set time to leave, but it's also, we would close when everyone left. So if people hung around long enough, we'd stay open. So if people hung around till 2 o'clock, that's when we would go. We'd still need an hour to close up. That's when we go, okay, now's about the time you should call your taxis, go and get your cars, all that sort of stuff. And then by the time we properly left, it was 3 a.m. It's like, I want my bed.
Yeah. And also, like, when you sign up for that sort of work, you don't really, like, expect to be up that late. Because, like, it's not like a normal roster where you get told that you're going to work until from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. But instead, you have to kind of just hope for the...
It was kind of that roster, except it was, like, set time till close. Close could be whenever. So it was a bit ambiguous, but you would know that you'd be staying there till it finished, no matter what time of the night or morning it was. So whenever I saw a till like set time, I was like, yes, because it meant I'd always be going home at that time. But yeah, you kind of got used to the fact that close could be 10 o'clock, could be midnight, could be 4 a.m. It was never 4 a.m. It was most often 2 o'clock or something. Fun.
Yeah. What was the theme for your radio show and interview/conversations?
I don't think we ever had a theme. I think it was just kind of, because every script would change. I guess the theme was just, it was school. It was about school. Didn't talk so much about education. We talked a bit sometimes about what was going on at school, maybe upcoming events, athletics and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think we ever stuck to too many stuff. A lot of stuff stayed the same in terms of games. Maybe guess the misheard lyric. That was fun. I got them wrong all the time. The Would You Rather, that was fun. But a lot of the segments kept changing. Maybe it was an interview with a foundation teacher. I think we did one with Chris Burley. Loved him. A couple with other teachers. I guess questions just about them, about how they got into teaching, about how they ended up at BowieSec, that sort of stuff, what they do for fun. But yeah, I don't think they ever stuck to one specific theme.
Yeah.
But it's fun nonetheless.
Were there any kind of accidents that happened with the equipment? Kind of like myself on this podcast where the wind might blow down my camera, or it's not facing the wrong way and didn't realize, or...
No, because the person we had on the panel was pretty good. Bjorn's done that for yonks, so he was pretty high-tech with it. So it was never really any technical issues. Maybe one mic was muted, maybe one broke, and then we just used a shared one. Or maybe the wrong song went to air, but it was nothing too drastic where we were in too much trouble. So I think the worst we had was maybe a mic cut out. But it was still great fun.
Yeah. What was the most interesting guest you interviewed on the show? If you can recall.
Yeah,
that.
that's going to be the part of the question. It's like, if I can remember them. Most interesting guest. Because it was so long ago, I can't quite remember what they said. We had Mr. Slocum. We had... A lot of them were pre-recorded. He was probably one of the live guests we had. He was there. And then we had pre-recorded one with Mr. RB, I believe. One with Mr. Burley. A couple... I think one with Mr. Robinson. Hearing their backstories was always fun, but I couldn't pick. They were all too good. I couldn't pick out probably my favourite.
Yeah.
It was just. It's always interesting hearing about people's backstories, that sort of thing, how they got to where they are, what they like to do. I learnt that Mr. Robinson, that was my best teacher. He also does a bit of music studio, and that was just what. Something I learnt.
Yeah.
So you get to learn new things about them. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's also why I really want to get them on my podcast as well. Like, there's a few, and a lot of them are really open to it, because a lot of them, like, I ask, and then they're like, absolutely, you just organize the time and day. And
because you have a perception of who they are, but then when you do this sort of thing, there's a lot more that you didn't know. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
What? And it's very interesting and very incredible.
Because a really good example I had was previously in the past 2 episodes, we had a guest called Wayne. He's a cleaner at my workplace where I lifeguard. And like, other than that, you wouldn't really know too much, but because I'm staff, we see like there was old posts where he was running a lot because he's a marathon runner, and he still runs marathons. But I learned about this whole history. Like, in a recession, he got a business loan from Commonwealth Bank to buy a grocery store, and they kind of ran that for 15 years. And he's been like all this other running events and stuff. I've been doing the Melbourne Marathon ever since it started. So he's been doing it for 47 years in a row. Just the same event every time without missing. Yeah. So it just goes to show you learn so much about someone. And that was a almost 3 hour episode with Michaelina that otherwise wouldn't.
If you just stuck to, I guess, hey, how's your weekend been? Oh, cool. And then you just carried on with your day, you wouldn't learn that about him. It's only until you actually get to talking or sit down in this sort of environment that you get to open up and understand more about them. It's always fun.
So I definitely recommend podcasting if you ever get into it.
Absolutely. It's more and more I want to do it.
Yeah. Do you have any voice and diction training before the radio interview? Like any special exercises, tongue twisters, or warm tea or drinks?
For radio, no. I think we just, for the very early scripts, because they were so written out, I guess we just run through them briefly beforehand and get your, oh, so what did you do this day? Your kind of radio voice. Today we are talking about this. Towards the latter, I guess we just brainstormed the dot points and just spoke a tiny bit about them to understand where we would go with the direction. But no, it wasn't really much vocal warm-ups. It's more of a singing thing. I do drink tea for the vocals for that, but not for the radio show. Good bit of warm tea, honey and lemon.
Perfect, yeah. Because like myself, I like to do a bit of tongue twisters before, like Peter Papa picked a peck of pickled peppers, and then Betty Botta bought some butter. And a few of them, because they're kind of like, when you don't speak for a while and then you start getting into speaking, you might
stutter or do a lot of filler words or just freak out. But
voice crack, that's the worst one.
That's always the worst. But
yeah,
I guess I'm just too bad at them. Like the whole red leather, yellow leather, can't do them. Synonym.
But the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Very true, like everything.
For anyone interested in starting their own show on a radio station, what steps would you recommend they take? And would you recommend them to get into radio?
If it's something that appeals to them, I'd absolutely, definitely recommend they get into it, or at least try it and see if they actually like it, because there's always the case that you want to do something, you do it, and you're yeah. But if it's something that appeals to you, I guess figure out if you want to do it by yourself, if you want to do it like a single podcast or radio show, or if you want to do it with friends. I recommend doing it with friends because you get to bounce off them and it's a lot more fun. Pick a topic, something that interests you, or you can sprinkle some events that happened in the past wee while, but you could talk about something that interests you. Maybe it's a conjoined interest with that. Even if it isn't, you could share your interests with them and them the same with you, and it just ends up being a whole, I guess, fruit salad of things to talk about. And it's very chill. I definitely recommend getting into it if it's something that interests you. And even not something to give it a crack. If you don't like it, that's fine too. But you've given it a crack, and that's what counts.
Yeah. And also, since you were on the radio show for like 3 years and constantly being the one speaking, how often have you actually listened back to it and heard the other guests or the other shows, or heard like Reuben and Bjorn on their own live? And what was that feeling when you're hearing back the people in the room that you once were in?
I guess a lot more easier to listen to than my own voice. No one likes to listen to their own voice, but hearing them, it just felt like I was back in the room with them until you could hear me start speaking and you go, ugh. But no, it sounded very natural. But there was always that part of me that, knowing that the next one was coming up, you'd listen back and go, okay, I got to work on that, maybe fix that, maybe change that. I guess I never really listened to it for listening to it, more so analysing it, fixing things up, making sure the next one was better. and it's just going to be on the up from there. So the next one's better than the one before, the one before, and the one before. I guess it was just always improvement, but still tons of fun.
Have you ever wanted to work in the television/production industry like the one Bjorn is in, especially with your experience being on a radio show for that long?
Yes, I've always looked at, because we had a excursion to the Docklands to see the studios, mind-blowing, and we got to see a episode of Hot Seat, and I think a couple of us even got to be able to be in the audience, so that would have been fun. But both, I'd love to be in that industry, but it's always for me, I've always been torn between the back of house stuff, so AV, all that sort of stuff, because that's always interested me. It's just more technology, but I guess there's always that part of me that, or anyone that would like to be on a television show, or act in something, or be on a live show like the Hot Seat or whatever. So I think yes, if I ever got that opportunity, but I don't know, there's just too many eggs to put in a basket to decide what I want to do.
Yeah. But if you were on a television show, what program would you like to host? Political, morning show, news, or something else?
Maybe something like a morning show, maybe a Today Show, because something where I can talk and be personable, and something that you can let your personality shine through. But so I guess something talking about topics that so many people have their own opinion on, like politics, is something I'd like to step away from, because I don't want to push my agenda onto people. I'd like to just be there for the sake of having fun and making sure other people do, and if they want to tune in because it's fun for them, that's the sort of thing I'd like to do. But yeah.
Or have views pushed against you as well?
Yeah, doing something like a debate would be kind of fun, for the sake of rage baiting the other person. But like if you were to have a political debate, it's kind of where I'd step back. One, because I don't think I'd win, but two, because it's just I don't want the entire sake of us being here to have our ideas clash, and rather do stuff together.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
And also, there was this one really popular and really skilled debater that in recent times has been assassinated.
Yeah.
Which really does not...
I saw someone make a joke. I don't think it was a joke. I think it was just an American that just thought it was real. You know the soft drink company, Kirk's? They tweeted saying that an Australian soft drink company has named has named themselves Kirk's after Charlie Kirk. And I went, yeah, since the 1800s, sure.
Before Charlie was alive. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's the Americans saying that Australia doesn't exist.
No.
Or it's not real.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
we're paid actors. Where's my paycheck, huh?
Yeah. Where's my g'day mate?
Exactly.
I haven't got that voice yet.
Yeah. I'm actually American. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. This question's about, would you ever like to start your own podcast? I think you were mentioning it throughout the show. But if you would start your podcast, would there be a topic or theme that you'd like to do the podcast about and interview certain guests in that kind of industry or theme? Or what sort of influential podcasters that you see that are really big currently, and who would you like to implement their style for your own show?
In terms of what I'd like mine to be about, that's a very good question. It's also very tricky because I've constantly thought about this. There's so many interests of mine that I'd like to have it based on, but I also don't want it to be limited to just one thing. But it's hard to reach. You can reach so many audiences, but maybe some of them won't tune in because you've talked about something else. They'll just listen for that one specific thing it's hard to either choose between sticking to one thing or involving a whole different other things. Like one of my interests and passions is electric vehicles. I find them fascinating. I'm still into cars. I find them equally as fascinating. But the technology behind electric cars is what makes me fascinated by them. Not the fact that they don't make a noise. It's the fact that it's an iPad on wheels, and I like tech. But if I was to make a podcast specifically about electric vehicles, there might be several people, like a massive demographic that I'm not reaching because I'm not talking about something that they're interested in. I might have one, but not another. But if I talk about that and I guess music history, that might be two. But maybe some in those areas won't listen to it because I'm talking about their other thing. It's those types of, I guess, roadblocks that I'm a bit wary of starting one, but
Yeah.
I have a couple of ideas, but I can never find a rock solid foundation to get started on.
Because one of the customers I showed my podcast to is a fan of a lot of IT podcasts because he works in the IT industry, and he named a few different ones he listens to. And if you had a podcast in the IT industry, you could really reach that sort of listener who listens to only IT podcasts.
Yeah.
But also, if you feel like talking about music that day,
Yeah.
or even like bring out your guitar during the podcast, that might be pretty cool. Play a song,
Yeah.
talk about it.
Just sing something. It's kind of, if I was to do the reverse, and if someone has a podcast where they talk about AFL, and because I don't watch football, why would I tune into that? Like I can put myself in their shoes. So if I talk about something they're not interested in, I can understand that because it's the same for me. But then it's like, well, what do I talk about then? If I want to try and reach everyone, what do I do? I don't know what to pick. I can pick everything.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a monumental task, trying to cram at least. This week's episode is about this. This one's about this. This one's about this. It's too much to. I guess there's too much in the world to talk about. But
Yeah.
I guess the safe bet is like news, kind of keeping up with current events, just informing people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And also, like, if you want to talk about all your interests and interview people that are related to music and IT and electric vehicles and, like, I guess, radio and production, you might also find yourself struggling finding a brand, if that's lack of a better word.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But trying to find your own kind of personal brand for the podcast when, you could be like music in the picture, but then you also have IT talks. You might be like a Windows logo or like a laptop, and it's kind of hard to find a way to make a brand.
You could stick an electric guitar with a lightning bolt and wheels. It just looks a bit odd, but it's hard to, yeah. I guess that's why it's easier to stick to one thing, but then you're also limiting yourself to that demographic. I guess you can have multiple podcasts, but then that's just you're taking on too much. There's a lot to think about, but I believe it's possible.
And if there's ever someone you're really interested to have a talk with, but they're not related to that audience base, like they don't have anything to do with IT or music, or they might have something to do with veterinary medicine, but you want to talk to them because they have a really interesting life.
Exactly that.
Your
thing could be exactly this, just talking to people, and then the entire episode that week is about them.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the best one, because you're not limiting yourself to one specific topic, because every week a topic will be different, and you get to learn more about that person.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the best format. But it's always nice to, I guess, share parts of yourself as well, your interests.
And if you're choosing a theme for your podcast, you can spend a lot more time researching that sort of topic and really having a very big and really great understanding of the topic, where you can understand so many small issues that only people in that industry would understand, or you can understand every new event specific to that industry. And then your conversations could be a lot more interesting or very specific and niche, but of course for the audience base.
Exactly. You can do it for yourself, but if no one tunes in,
Yeah.
I guess.
Reuben, what was your first job?
The yacht club. Oh, technically no. I technically did work experience. We didn't exactly get work experience during school because of lockdown. Year 10's about the time you do work experience, and we were in remote learning. But my work experience was, I guess, hands-on IT assistant at my mum's work. I got to go around, because everyone was at home, the entire office was empty, so I got to go around to 209 desks and recable them. And I got paid for it, so that was good. It wasn't just experience, I actually got something out of it. But that was probably my first job, work experience job. And then the one I actually applied for and got was the yacht club. Now I'm here.
And that work experience, what sort of tasks, because you mentioned the recabling of the desk, was that the only task they gave you, or was there like a checklist of?
There was a good bit. I think one of them was I reorganized the entire server room. I e-wasted a ton of old laptops. I had to remove the password off a lot of laptops. I got to bring all those home and just do that in my room, and to do that over and over again with like 70 of them. That was fun. They got me to do a lot, but they were all IT based, and I think I liked that. I also did some things, I guess, off the checklist, just things that I thought that I guess the office space needed. Like I cleaned the whiteboards. That was just something I did because they were covered in marker, and I just went and cleaned them all with Windex. Just something to do. But at the same time, I also did those with my work experience because at the same time, that office was my classroom for remote learning. So I got to, while everyone was at home, I was in the city, just in an office with teams, and just turn around and you had the city skyline behind me. That was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what was that company that you're doing the work experience for?
I have a joke. It was my mum's joke because it's BCG, or it's Morris Coffee Group. Doesn't exist. No, it's Boston Consulting Group.
And that's the one that's based out of Boston, Massachusetts?
I think so. They're global, but actually I have no idea where they're based. But there's an office in the city. There's one in Japan. There's one in Paris. But maybe I think their home base is probably Boston. Yeah.
Because I was trying to check out their LinkedIn profile while trying to prepare questions for the script. And
did you see the green Boston Consulting Group under my experience? Yeah, that's it.
And then I was checking out their locations on the map, and the only location they kind of showed on their LinkedIn was Boston, Massachusetts. So I was kind of a bit confused, and I was kind of curious if you were doing it remotely for the company.
I traveled. I totally went to Boston. That was so much fun. No, I didn't. No. They've got places all over the world, but...
And I also didn't know it was your work experience, because I thought you actually got that job pretty early on in high school for like a really, really...
Yeah, it would have been
respected.
Crazy. Yeah, going from no job to top-tier consulting firm. Whoa. No, it was just, I guess, to help out mum. So it was work experience, but I got paid, so it was technically a job. I liked doing it. It was fun. Especially when there was no one in the office. You just got to do stuff and listen to music.
Yeah. And that consulting is mostly like just business consulting work, and not... Is it something you're interested to get into, or would you just...
No.
Yeah.
My mum is the IT of that. So that's kind of the position I like to go in. Or what my course was focused in, cybersecurity. So like at the forefront of preventing cyber threats, managing cyber hygiene, like strong passwords, all that sort of stuff. That's kind of the area I wanted to go in. So whatever company, but the IT direction of that. Because at Mum's work, you got to see a lot of the people. You got to see a lot of the actual consultants, the business people, the finance people. But it was always the IT department that kind of felt like home. Because it's just the stuff I was most familiar with.
Yeah. So your second job was at the yacht club, which was a real official job. What was the nature of the work, and what tasks were you required to do at the yacht club?
I was bar back. So I was doing bar hospitality, so I had to get my RSA. Then it was just behind the bar. People would come in, ask what they want. If they look too young, ask for their ID, make sure they signed in. It was your classic hospitality role, I guess, just serving them drinks. There was occasionally some food, and then when an event came around, 21st or a gig or a wedding, setting up those tables, getting it all, putting the decorations out. Dependent on the event, I guess the tasks would differ because no event's the same 2 times in a row. But a lot of the actual just bar work was pretty much the same. Drinks, wine, cocktail, that sort of thing.
Yeah. There is an app that's pretty new that came out. It's called, I believe, Kickstacker. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Sounds like Kickstarter.
Yeah, it sounds like Kickstarter. But instead of like donating money, it's more so, it's a special app that is mostly for hospitality companies, but also like events companies also use it. It's an app where if you need extra staff that day, you can post up like a listing for that day, well, for that shift, and you can say how much you're paying and, you know, what time you start, what time you finish. And it's a really good side hustle way to get more income while also...
So it's kind of like Airtasker, where you can like say, oh, I need this done. And then people of, I guess, that qualification can say, yeah, I can do it. Like I think I got an Airtasker to put a dash cam in my car, or to put like a shelf in, that sort of thing. Just, I guess, project-based kind of things.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of similar. But
And you can definitely earn more than like Uber because you actually get paid like award rates for like the hourly rate.
yeah. Or I think on Airtasker it's like an agreed amount. Because I think we were going to get one to get rid of our chimney and put a wall in, and we settled on 500 for the whole thing. So it's kind of, I guess it's not so hourly, maybe just dependent on what it is. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe if you're ever interested to like pick up a random shift on a public holiday to get that extra pay, or
It's always good.
have a lot more flexible work options.
Especially on a public holiday, you get public holiday rates and it'd be like $60 an hour.
Yeah.
Very good.
And there's no contracts for permanent work or part-time, so you can kind of be flexible. Check out the app, see if there's a shift that's convenient for the next day, and then you can be like, yeah, I feel like working, and then you get that pay and stuff.
It's very on your schedule, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you can decide, yeah, I need some work, I'll do this. Scroll through. I guess that flexibility is really appealing.
It's pretty impressive how these apps and these tech companies keep releasing these new innovations for our society, like from Uber, Airbnb, and now like Kickstacker and, you know, Airtable and, or, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep progressing, keep innovating. You've already got OpenAI's, no, not OpenAI, what's the other one? Perplexity. They've got their own browser with built-in AI, so it can do stuff on the browser for you. You type in what you want it to do, it can do stuff. You can say, get rid of all this spam from my email, it'll log into your email and delete it all. And it's just going to, I think it can book or, like Uber Eats or hotel rooms, which is just a bit dystopian, but it's just that sort of technology is also going to keep innovating. So you've got more apps coming, you've got more AI stuff, you've got all this stuff, just you got self-driving cars, you've got robots. It's all kind of a bit 2077, but
Yeah.
a bit Blade Runner.
I guess, yeah. What struggles would you face working at the yacht club?
One struggle, I guess, it was kind of because you got regulars at, I guess, everywhere, but you imagine working somewhere like a cafe, you've got regulars that come in, so you know their order. For me, that's kind of tough because my brain is wired in a way where I can't, unless I talk to this person quite often, my brain completely forgets everything about them, which is, I know, some people, that's a bit it's just the way it happens. But if someone comes in and orders a drink, I'll give it to them. I'll learn their name. But if they don't come back for like 3 weeks and they say, can I get my regular? I'm like, who are you? I met you once. I can't remember who you are. And then they'll get offended. It's like, it's just how I work. If this person came in every single day, it would actually lock in my brain more. But if they came in once every month, it's a little bit difficult. That's something I had to work around. I guess the other thing is just this, not much else. There was an occasional clashing of ideas amongst co-workers and maybe the manager, but things like that happen.
Yeah.
I tried to be the best I could, but there was just some things that just didn't align, or some road bumps, and stuff happens.
And how would the management treat you?
Like I was 4. Yeah, it was great. Things that weren't common sense, they told me was common sense. Like for me, who doesn't drink, have you worked in a place that had like a till, and like you click stuff? Have you worked in hospitality?
I've worked in where there's a cashier and there's like an iPad,
like a till, and you got like things on it. With them, they wouldn't add new drinks to the till, so she'd say put it through as this, but then that thing wouldn't exist on the till either. So I go, what do I put this as? Are you familiar with alcohol, like types?
I guess, yeah, in school.
Yeah, there was a Prosecco, which is like a sparkling wine, like a champagne, in a tin, and we didn't have that on the till. So I was like, what do I put this as? Do I put this as a tinned drink, or do I put this as Prosecco? Because Prosecco's in a bottle, much more there. And the manager goes, it's common sense, you figure it out. I'm like, what does that mean? No, it's not common sense. I don't drink. Nothing in this environment is common sense to me in terms of the actual drinks. Like, heck, I don't even know what Aperol tastes like. It looks like orange, and I'm like, that could be orange. Might not be. But it's those types of things where common sense was kind of a thrown around term. Like, there was also parts where there was a dance floor that I had to assemble. It was like a 4x4 puzzle piece that you snap together and you screw in. There was one time that I left it out, and then the next day they said, why'd you leave it out? And I'm like, because there was an event the next day. And like, well, I don't need it. And then a couple weeks later, they said do a complete close. So that means pack everything up, put the chairs away. And the dance floor was out, so I packed it down. And then they called the next day saying, why'd you pack that up? I needed it. I'm like, you told me to do a complete close. The communication here isn't fantastic. What did you want me to do? And I kind of got fed up with that kind of behavior to a point where I'm just like, I'm done. I was doing the yacht club and Bowie Secondary at the same time, and so I just went more into the IT Bowie Sec side. I was like, I can't put up with this behavior. So.
And what was the difference between the way the Bowie Sec IT, their management, how they treated you?
Night and day difference. Like, my boss at Bowie Sec treats me like I'm human, and if I don't understand stuff, he's like, that's fine. I'll show you how to do it, and the next time this is how you know how to do it. Like, did hands-on stuff, didn't just tell me figure it out. Like, yes, there's also the expectation that you can't be handheld and everything, you can't have everything done for you, but he didn't treat me like I was stupid for not knowing how something didn't work, or not knowing how this worked. Also, being freshly out of school, school's kind of your life, 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Like, that's kind of, unless you get like an outside job. Like for me, I didn't have one, and so going into that, I was like, I don't know how to do this support stuff. I'm familiar with the front-facing, customer side, but in terms of what to do here, completely lost. So he showed me how to do stuff. It was just a much better environment. It made me feel like I actually wanted to go to work rather than dread it,
Yeah.
which is the biggest difference when it comes to a job. If you actually want to go and you actually want to do your best, and you know, it makes the world a difference from going, oh, I have to work tomorrow.
It does. Yeah.
They're going to treat me like I'm like 9 and I don't know how to breathe. It's the biggest difference, but the best change. Very happy with where I am.
That's good. What is... Never mind, that's a dumb question since we've already mentioned that you're working at Bowie Sec. How did you find the experience of going back to school after graduation, but as a staff member?
It felt like I never left. It was maybe 5 months between my last exam and coming back to work there. I was like, this place hasn't changed. It felt like I took a 5-month term holiday and just came back. It felt like I was in year 12 again. But this time I actually got to wear casual clothes. I get to call the staff by their first name, which is still a bit weird to me because I feel like they're still teachers. It hasn't quite, it's been a year and a bit since I've started working there and it still hasn't quite settled in. I still have to go, I still have respect for them like they're teachers, but eventually I'll get used to that, I guess. But it's a great environment. If I didn't need a tour of the place, which is kind of funny. I just knew where everything is. They go, do you know where S24 is? I'm like, yeah, I got it. So I guess it was a real, because it was an environment I was familiar with. It was really easy to slip back in.
Yeah. And did you also get access to the staff room by being a staff member?
I don't visit there often because I usually just go out to the concourse for lunch, come back, and by the time I'm back, it's the end of lunch. So I don't really venture to the staff room that often, but I can. Probably been in there maybe 5 times.
Was it kind of surreal or felt kind of strange when you're in the staff room where you never were for 6 years in school?
The one surreal thing was going to Mr. Bartlett's farewell in the concourse at the Concourse Hotel. There was all the teachers there, and I just went, I don't feel like I belong there because there was no one my age and there was no one that I knew apart from all the teachers. I just went, this is just too weird. But it was fun. Mr. Bartlett I do miss him. It was fun.
Yeah. What sort of devices do you work with and problems you fix at your IT support technician role? And is it only limited to student devices?
No, I do a lot. I can just list them all, with the exception of students' phones, because we've had a couple of them bring them up to me, and I'm like, 1, you shouldn't have those out, and 2, if your phone's broken, that's not for me. I'm here for your laptop and your education. But students' laptops, iPads if they have them, staff laptops, staff workstations, the projectors in every classroom, the TVs, anything. We do those to help out because we're supposed to be just software side, but if something's broken then we'll help out, especially if a staff device or a student device doesn't have warranty cover, then we'll look at maybe our spare parts to see if we can help them out. We don't do that often because the spare parts come from, I don't know, overstock, but it's not something we can just do nilly-willy, but yeah, pretty much anything that needs to be connected to network, we kind of help.
And how does the warranty side of it work versus when they don't have warranty? Is there a sort of payment that the IT team or the business operating it kind of receives so they can afford the parts and afford, fixing it?
we go through a supplier called LWT, Learning with Technologies. They get their parts from, and their laptops, they get them from the actual manufacturers. So if we, and then LWT are our portal. So if you're a student and you buy a school laptop, that you're buying it from LWT that got it from Lenovo. So it's a Lenovo device, but you got it from them. So that's who you go through to get it fixed. And it comes with a year warranty standard, but we heavily encourage spending the tiny bit of extra money to buy the 3-year coverage, because you could drop your laptop in year 2 and your warranty is gone, so you have to pay for a lot more to repair it. But so having that extra coverage is quite handy, especially since they just changed to an education warranty system, where for those 3 years, if you buy the extended cover, you get unlimited repairs on whatever. And if the laptop is beyond repair, they'll replace it, which is pretty cool.
Within the 3 years, or is that after the 3 years?
Within the 3 years. As soon as that runs out, then whatever part is broken, you have to pay full cost plus labor. So if a laptop, like a screen breaks, that's like $400. But with the education warranty, free. You have to pay. You look at the serial number. Does it have the warranty? Yes. Screen gets fixed.
And how much per year would the warranty cost?
I haven't actually seen. I don't think it's when you go and buy the laptop, it's like an add-on. Maybe it's like $30, like for the extra 3 years of coverage on top of the unit. So maybe it's $1,600 all up, 15 maybe, or maybe 14. But having that extra coverage is really handy, especially just for peace of mind, I guess. It's better than buying it and then breaking it, then realizing you don't have that cover. Then you have to pay, like the board inside. If the laptop starts refusing to turn on, and then you're like, oh, but you have the cover, then we'll replace that board for free. If you don't, that's $1,000, which you may as well put towards a new laptop.
Yeah.
If it's that much, then you have the option of either paying for a new laptop or putting that in that old laptop to get it repaired. And if that laptop is 4 years old, buying a new laptop is maybe $1,200. If it's $1,000 to repair your broken one, they get that. Personally, I think it's better to put that towards a new laptop that has cover, rather than fix one that could break again and then you have to do that again. There's a lot of logistics involved, but...
And maybe sell the parts from the broken laptop to add to the funding for the new one.
Yeah, or you wouldn't get a lot for them. If it's a broken computer, it's almost worth nothing. That's why if someone goes to buy a new laptop instead, we'll offer to give it back to them, but most often they don't have a use case for it, so we'll keep the broken laptop because maybe one part's broken but the rest is fine, and that becomes our spare parts. And then we're able to help out with other students with maybe that don't have cover but also don't have the money to afford to repair it. Maybe a trackpad goes and we can replace it with a good one, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just to help out.
And have you found the ThinkPads that they're currently using, are they easy and efficient to fix, or is there some nuances or kind of annoying aspects of the ThinkPad laptop?
The only recent issue we've had was one particular generation, and it was the L13 Yoga Gen 3. And that they changed a lot of things in that generation where the back plastic was a lot weaker, so the hinge would actually just snap off from when you opened it. And that was eventually a known issue where Lenovo are like, okay, it's our bad, and so if it happens again, it'll just get approved for repair. But it's to do with the back cover panel, the plastic in there holding the screen together. It's just they changed that sort of thing. Stupid, but...
What training did the role provide and skills you learned whilst working there?
I think I refined my approachable side to like the the student side. It's technically customer side, but because me naturally, I'm very I'm very introverted. So starting that is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a hurdle for me. But as I do it more often, I get more comfortable with it. So I'm able to just approach them, you know, talk to them, understand where they're coming from, understand what they're talking about. That's kind of a skill I've refined with this role and my previous one. Refining my knowledge on the actual stuff I'm touching is pretty, like, because when I was at school, the only thing I knew about OneNote was that it was one huge note that just sunk across many devices. But now I kind of understand the inner workings of it, the back end of it, like where all that information goes, how you can get it back if you delete it, that sort of thing. And kind of refining my knowledge base on these things. And it's very interesting.
Yeah. And also you kind of got to get used to, because before when you were just a student, you usually just interacted with your friends. And now you're interacting with all the different year levels.
Yeah.
And like everyone, because everyone's got a laptop and everyone has to get the new password, new Wi-Fi, like they have to get their keys to the network when they start, or their license or passport or certificate.
I can't tell you how many students I've had that come saying they can't connect to EduStarts because it's forgotten their login. But they know their login, they just don't know what it is. It's when it goes username and password, it's just their email and their Compass password. But they'll go, I don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, it's your email and password. And they go, That's kind of one thing I wish everyone knew, but they don't. And they come to me and I'm like, that's fine. Yeah. And then they know for the next time. That's the best part.
Yeah. What are the pluses and minuses of working in a school that a normal workplace like an office or a cafe would?
Okay, if you're going to compare it to corporate, I guess education is better in the sense that it's more lenient. You're not, like for me on a help desk, we have jobs, but we can take our time researching the problem, doing all that sort of stuff. But the downsides is that it's just us, and it's just like a team of 2-3 people to deal with every problem that comes across. Whereas if you were to look at the corporate side, they have individual teams of escalation. So you've got the level 1 that you bring the issue to, and if they can't fix it, they'd escalate it higher, and then if they can't fix it, they'd escalate it higher, and then if they fix it, then they get sent back down. But at the same time, in a help desk environment, if you were to log a job saying I have this issue, they are on a time basis. They have to get it done. And if a ticket, like if a job or a ticket is open for longer than 2 hours, it gets flagged, and then someone's, like their supervisor will go, why is this still open? So there are pros and cons. Like it's more lenient, but there's less structure versus more constricted and more confined, but there is structure. So this one's technically more of a mess. Education's more technically of a mess, but it's a lot more lenient. You don't have people on your back about it versus corporate, where it's like, I have to get this ticket done within 2 hours, otherwise I'm going to get my supervisor talking to me. But if it's something I can't deal, I can escalate it to like the network team or the security team. Like there's different teams you can escalate it to. So there's pros and cons of either.
Yeah.
I can never figure out which one I like more. Probably the structure side, but...
But have you worked in the structure side before?
No, but I've seen it firsthand and I go, yeah, okay, that's pretty full on. But
yeah.
the structure is great. It's the constant time crunch and someone's on your back. If something doesn't get done, yeah, that's the scary part, I guess.
The disciplinary action.
Yeah, but it's how it works.
What were the main differences you found working in the school doing the IT side versus a yacht club doing the hospitality side?
Main difference, one is, I guess you could say customer based. One has to be legally 18 to buy stuff from, and the other is between the ages of 13 and 18, so very different demographic apart from the staff at school. So I guess when you get to talking to them, it's a bit different, because one of them might talk about, I don't know, something from a time before me. They'll say, I have this song on vinyl. I'm like, that's great. I don't. But then the younger generation will say something that I'm not quite up to date with. So it's a bit stark, I guess. And definitely what I'm doing there is very different. Serving drinks compared to repairing laptops, very, very different. But the flexibility of it was great. I think I've still got a bit of bar knowledge in me that I probably, and if I work another job like that, will come in handy, but because I don't drink, I find it useless.
Yeah. Would you recommend to your brother, Luca, to follow in your footsteps and become a IT support technician straight after school?
Would I recommend? Well, I can definitely recommend that it's fun, but that's only because I find it fun. If it's something he doesn't want to do, I'm not going to force that on him. Like if he completely hates math, I'm not going to tell him to become a mathematician. But knowing that he's into technology the same as me, I definitely recommend going with it. I'm definitely going to pursue this career path because it's something I want to do. I've got plans. I'm going to keep going with it at uni. I think if he wants to do it at uni, he could definitely continue with that. If he wants to get a job, I'd support him the entire time.
Yeah. When looking for work, what factors are the most important for you? Is it the pay,
Yes.
the culture, benefits, or progression and skill building?
Just the first one. No, I'm kidding. Well, obviously, the pay is important because that's just how the world works. But besides that, I guess it's the important ones for me are probably culture. Like, if the work environment and the culture sucks, you're not going to have a great time. The people, I guess for you yourself, it's kind of looking at what you want out of it in terms of growth, career, like pathways. It's all a matter of, it's very subjective, I guess. Yeah, for me it's culture, obviously pay. If it's hands-on or if it's not. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Right. What is the culture like at Swinburne University of Technology?
Very inclusive. I've only, because my classes were quite structured to be very hands-on, and that's what I liked about it. There was a lot of theory, but there was mostly practical stuff. That practical stuff was I think the key part of that course that helped me to do so well and complete it. But the culture there is very same as Bowie Sec, I'd say, with the teachers being there to help. They're not out to get you. They want you to ask questions. They want you to go, what does this mean? I'm having trouble with this, can you please help? They want that sort of stuff. So it was very approachable for me to go to a teacher and say, what's an example? My code isn't working, and they're like, that's fine. You're missing one line, this sort of thing. They won't give me the exact answer because they still want you to figure it out, but they'll help you and they'll go, here. They'll say, you're missing these things. Like if I'm building a system and I'm trying to get into it, but I can't, like, you're missing some rules to be able to get into it. I'm like, now I see it. It's a very approachable learning environment, and it's great all around.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's the same at every uni, but for Swinburne, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. And then in that classroom, How many of you were there, and like as the students?
I'd say maybe 25, maybe 25, 30. There were a lot. It was a long classroom. But what I found funny was by the end of it, because it was a year course, by the end of it there was probably 11. So many people had left, and that's fair enough. They might have figured that IT wasn't something for them, but I stuck through, and it was pretty interesting to see the class go from like 30 people down to 10 or 11. But yeah, our classrooms are cool, very state of the art.
Was it one teacher or did you have multiple?
We had 3. I was there 2 days a week. One first day, I was there 2 days a week, and one day I was online. I was a hybrid. One day I had one teacher, and then the second day I had 2 different ones, and the third day I had one. So it was a very big mix, and they all specialised in different areas in the same course. So they'd all teach different things, which is very interesting. And they all knew the same sort of stuff, but they'd ask each other the same stuff. And it's like a big group of ideas. It's like your own kind of human ChatGPT with 3 different people. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then like the actual activities in the course, what sort of cybersecurity programs would you be forced, or would you be making as part of the study rubric?
A lot of the stuff was hands-on with some well-known programs. Like I got to build my own fake virtual environment in Cisco Packet Tracer. So I got to put in like a couple fake computers, then a router, and try and connect them, and then make sure they can get to an outside website. Then there was the AWS, which is like Amazon's cloud infrastructure system, where I got to actually build an environment hosted on Amazon servers in America, but and build a network based on them, so these computers can connect to this server, which can loop back to these ones. Only these ones have access to certain things through different accounts. That was the most fun. I got to use that for my project, because we had a big project at the end of it, and it was to build a system for a company that wants a high-tech security system. So I had to implement stuff like a firewall so that people can't just go on the dark web or unwanted websites. They can just add them to this list, and so then you can go onto the computer, see if you can get there, and if it can't, yeah. So I can add Reddit to the block list and then go on, and it's like, nah, just building that sort of stuff was very fun. I think that's what a lot of people left after. There was a lot of big projects that I guess people struggled with, so they dropped out, but it was a lot of fun.
And the firewall was like the Sophos at school, kind of like blocking, like...
Not Sophos anymore, but yes.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember, because it was a long time ago, maybe 2022, when you'd open up your laptop and go into a web browser, and it would pop up that little Sophos logon saying, who are you? And you have to put in your Compass ID.
Yeah.
That's now gone because it's a different firewall. I won't get into too much about it because I don't know how much I can talk about it. But
Right, non-disclosure agreement.
well, I haven't signed an NDA, but it's just, I don't want to announce exactly how the system works to every single student.
Yeah, because you never know, like, the next, hacker genius at the school.
Yeah,
You might crack the
that bomb
system.
threat, that was great.
Oh, that was a bomb threat?
Well, not exactly a bomb threat, but someone managed to hack into the PA system that plays the music at lunchtime.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and play that file, and in it there was like, there's a bomb, and there was an explosion, and yeah, that was pretty severe.
Is that just they managed to get into the room with the microphone for the PA,
No,
or
they managed to find the network address of the device, because it's a Raspberry Pi, that little tiny machine, and once you can get into that, mistakenly, this was before I became working there, but It happened while I was working there, but the whole setup was before I was there. The username and password were the defaults. You could Google what's the default login for this machine and give you it, put it in, worked. So they didn't change it. Now they have to a very secure password, but it was just a matter of finding the address, remoting into it through the IP address, and then just going, file folder. So, great.
Yeah. Because I did not think that's how it worked. Because I thought it was just kind of like a big microphone that had a button and like just
I think
plugged
they
in
used to
this
have
cable.
that. I don't think they have it anymore. When I was back in 2018, 2019, I think they did have that in the reception area. And there's still the port in the wall for that, but the microphone, I think, isn't there anymore. But they do have that sort of system where you can tap the intercom and go, come to the office, please.
Yeah.
They do have that, but I don't think they use it.
Yeah.
Because sending the teacher Teams message saying, can you get the student to come down to the office is, I guess, a lot easier.
And I guess it's a bit more private for the student, because if you're saying like, you know,
come to the principal's office now, the entire school knows that
everyone knows,
yeah.
and everyone starts gossiping, and then
they're like, ooh, what did he do?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, damn.
And then there's probably concerns about the student's mental health, or like if there's like, you know, all this gossiping, it might start online stuff. Yeah. Or if you say like, you know, could Jimmy from 7B come to counseling and stuff, and then people start talking about that, and yeah, it's a bit more private now. Reuben. Okay, this one was about. It's okay. I'll just read the script question.
Go for it.
But we kind of covered it. But Reuben, I saw you made a post about finishing a course at Swinburne.
That I did.
What course was it, and how did you find the study material and practice components of it, as well as would you recommend it to other people interested in that industry, or is there other courses that are better to recommend for people who are interested in a more broader IT industry?
Absolutely. The one I did was the Certificate 4 in cybersecurity, which delves into the more, obviously, cybersecurity aspect, so protecting against threats, that sort of stuff. There is the one before that, which I would say is more catered to everyone, which is Certificate 3 in IT, so that's more general. For me, for the one I did, the requirement was that you have at least some technical knowledge, where the Certificate 3, you could know nothing about computers and go in, you'll be completely fine. Because I remember one person in my class didn't know what a HDMI port was. And I went, what? You're here doing cybersecurity and you don't know if your laptop has a HDMI port. What? So that's why I'm like, I think you need some, at least a tiny bit of technical knowledge. But yeah, doing that, the reason why I did this one is because, one, I didn't get the ATAR I wanted from my exams, but doing this course to then get into the course I wanted to was just a no-brainer. Like, that pathway was just what I wanted to do. But at the same time, I knew someone from Mum's work that did this exact same course at Polytechnic and now works at CrowdStrike. So that's kind of the career path I'd like to go on. I know that working at those types of places by just doing that course is possible, so I thought that's what I want to do. And then hopefully land a place somewhere in the world with that course, or continue on to do
Further education and stuff.
yeah, the diploma. I don't think there's an associate degree, but the bachelor, carry on with it.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
How much did the course cost you, and did you have any student loans for it?
It was free.
Really?
It was the government paid for it because it was part of the TAFE kind of thing. But you only get one. So me having never done a certificate before, this was completely free for me. So I had no HECS debt, had nothing of the sort. But if I had done, I don't know, the certificate in graphic design, did that halfway through and decided this ain't for me, left, then went to do this, I would have had to pay. But not having to pay for this one really helped, because it meant I did. Otherwise, there are fees on the website. I think it's like $11,000, something like that, which is kind of crazy. And then like the diploma is 13, so you may as well just do the diploma. But not having to pay for this course was quite a big help, because it meant I didn't have to fork out so much money to pay for it, which meant I got a head start, and then I could put those funds towards the next degree that I want to do.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
The free TAFE program's pretty good, yeah.
I don't know if it's still free, because I do like rotations, but it says on the website, if you click on the course, on like the Swinburne course at least, I don't know about RMIT or whatever, but there's a tiny green box up there that says free TAFE. So that means that course is eligible. There's several others. I think there's one in teaching, then one in fitness, one in maybe graphic design, maybe there was one in video game design, which was pretty interesting, but I didn't do that one. But they're on the rotation.
And was it difficult to apply? Was there any waiting lists, or just you clicked enroll and that's it?
Pretty much. It kind of has the same system as ATAR, but very different in the sense that it's not like you need a 70 ATAR to get in. And if you have a lower ATAR, you can't apply for it. It's a case that anyone can apply for it, but if you have a ATAR score, it doesn't have to be a high one. If you have a ATAR score, you're at the top of that list. So if I didn't, I'd be down in the middle or bottom of the waiting list to get in. But because I at least did the exams and got an ATAR, I was at the forefront of that list. So I just got in pretty much instantly. But that doesn't mean you need an ATAR to get in, which is pretty good.
Yeah. How do you see our lives changing in terms of technology in 20 years' time?
In 20 years, completely automated. We are. Have you seen the latest Sora model with the video generation? We are so stuffed. Like, some of that is almost believable, apart from the fact that people's body contorts and twists. But with the constant rapid development with technology in every aspect, I'd say, WALL-E, the movie?
Yeah.
The people in that, that's probably the direction we're heading. We've got Amazon, Boston Dynamics, Tesla making automated robots. We've got Tesla also making self-driving cars that they've just introduced to Australia. We've got, obviously, Meta, OpenAI, all those companies jumping into. I guess it's warm enough now.
It is.
We've got all these companies jumping in to be the first ones to even smartphone companies. Apple tried doing their Apple Intelligence, which backfired. Which I'm not one to get into the big phone wars and the big 25, but I had never touched Android, so I was like, I can't speak that it's bad. So I went and bought myself an Android and I tried it, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's super close. They've obviously inspired each other, but what I found is that Apple's AI model is supposed to be baked into the phone instead of ChatGPT, where you send something, it goes and gets it from a server, comes back. It's supposed to be on device. So that's why I think they're taking their time to cook it, which is why it kind of flopped in last year. But you've got all this AI, you've got self-driving cars, you've got robots, you've got drone delivery. There's almost, I don't want to say people will become obsolete because we'll still be here, but everything will be done for us. It's hard to WALL-E or I want to think Blade Runner because I like that sci-fi aspect with flying cars, but more closer to WALL-E, having everything done for us probably.
Or it might even have a turn, like kind of like in Cyberpunk 2077, where there's
Favorite
a lot of
game?
not cyber crime, but cyber criminals, like
Yeah.
criminals using all sorts of cyber tech to just commit more violent crimes. That could also be a turn.
Definitely. I mean, in that universe, in that game, everyone's got a computer in their head, so they're able to scan the internet through their eyes and do that sort of stuff. I like to think I'd be around when that happens because that's kind of cool. But in 2077, I'll be, I don't know, 70 something. Ouch.
But also with anti-aging technology, like when we become 77, we might be some people have said that we're going to be the first generation that doesn't die, which I think is a little much. But I feel like our age span and health span would definitely have a huge increase.
I think de-aging technology is going to be advanced tenfold by what we have today, because it's already rapidly, and things like Neuralink, like they're already putting computers into people's brains, so we're probably getting closer to cyberpunk by the day. I hope to be able to see that kind of world, but in terms of at least the technological aspects, I hope it's not as dystopian as it is. But it's for me, it's kind of a mixed bag because I'm terrified of that, like having everything done, having robots take over. It's terrifying. But the thing inside me that absolutely loves technology thinks it's going to be incredible to see the technological advancements. So it's a bit of a it's hard to lean which way.
Yeah. And some governments are trying to release centralized digital banking currencies and stuff, and have like digital IDs as well, and have like
I think they're trying
everything just
to
linked
make
online.
cryptocurrency the norm for paying for stuff. So go from physical cash to digital cash to crypto. They're kind of, I think that's what they were doing.
But crypto's not really as controlled by the government, so they can't regulate. So they might have to release their own currency.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Like I can't make any predictions, but I do think we'll probably end up like WALL-E, with all the people in floating chairs and huge, but because we don't exercise, but.
And we just eat everything that tastes good. We just click a holographic and boom.
And it, like 3D. Have you seen the Amazon show Upload?
There's a no, I
yeah,
haven't.
like it's I guess it's about like a digital afterlife where you get uploaded to the cloud after you die. So everything's like hosted on a server, but because it's so futuristic, they've got 3D printers that print food. So I think that'll be cool. But then I guess it's the whole thing of tech replacing jobs. Like me personally, I absolutely love driving. I think it's fantastic. So many people say, I get fatigued from driving. I don't. I could do it for hours on end.
It's pretty fun.
But at the same time, I'm very, very into that whole full self-driving tech. I think it's fantastic. But it's a conflict of interest because I want to drive, but I also love the self-driving stuff. So it's a bit.
But also, if you look at the roads currently, especially like, I can only really speak for Australia now, but we have a lot of idiots on the road doing all sorts of crazy maneuvers, always cutting in front, honking their horn when they're, you have the advantage, but they're trying to overtake when they're not supposed to, and people who don't have a license driving on the roads.
98% of car crashes are human error. So the self-driving thing will make every car know what each other is doing, and so we'll have significantly less crashes. But so there won't be a need to drive. Like Tesla already unveiled a cyber cab where there is literally no steering wheel in it. It's completely self-driven. So you won't need to own a car. If the thing comes and picks you up, drops you to where you're going, and then leaves, there's no need to own a car. There's no need to have a driver's license. There was a thought that I saw someone say that they had like a 2-year-old so born 2 years ago, by the time they're 18, they probably won't need a license. That's a bit terrifying. So in, 16 years time, 20 years, cars will probably be self-driving all around the place. We're already getting some of them. If you've seen the development of Tesla's full self-driving tech, it's pretty terrifying.
There was this like self-driving Uber. I saw a video of it, but
The
it also had like an error where the person in it, who's a big advocate for like self-driving cars, for some reason the car had an issue in the car park lot where it just kept doing loops,
looping?
and
Yeah.
it was locked. Like he couldn't open or get rid of the seatbelt
Yeah.
because safety and stuff. So it just kept spinning, and he had to like.
There's a lot of
yeah.
kinks to work out. I will say it's not perfect, but I believe that the development will be at such a rapid pace that these errors won't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it.
Hopefully, yeah. And also with Neuralink in everyone's like brains and stuff, or a different form that could be, it's maybe in a wrist or
Yeah.
some other part of your body.
I mean, you've obviously seen Cyberpunk, the USB.
Yeah.
I'm still confused as to how that would work because it's a solid mass in your wrist, but that sort of thing's cool. Being able to plug yourself in and just upload data. I'm all
But you don't
for that.
even need a USB. You can just use an RFID chip.
Yeah, just beep.
That's so much simpler and easier.
I know someone, my dad's boss bought a Tesla, and because they've got those key cards with the RFID in them, had that surgically implanted to his hand, so he would lean against the car and it would unlock. I'm like, yeah, that can't be good for you. But I guess if that's going to be the future, may as well get a head start. No, don't. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah. And also with Neuralinks, like being in everyone's brains and stuff, how much easier would the future become for assassinations?
Oof.
Because that would be just instant. You could just hit a switch from your keyboard and that might be someone's life gone.
Yeah, there will definitely there'd have to be safeguards built into it. I think currently the way it works is it's just to connect to other devices and move the mouse around for people that are paraplegic so they can navigate stuff by just looking at it. But at some point, yes, it'd probably get to the point where you can browse the web in your head. I'd like to see how that works. But there would have to be safety precautions built in so you can't get a virus and then...
But also like, there's no piece of online tech that's uncrackable.
No. The best, we learnt this in my course, the best firewall or the best form of security from the outside threats is to have it completely cut off from the internet. Because as soon as it's connected to the internet, it's vulnerable to any type of threat or vulnerability. So if you want the best security, no internet. You can have a laptop at home that you have your own network, not connected to the internet. That is the best security because nothing can get into it. But as soon as you connect it to YouTube, anywhere out there, that's where the vulnerabilities come in.
That reminds me of the guy, I believe was the guy who made Silk Road. He had like a specially encrypted laptop where as soon as you close it, there was no way for like special intelligence to access it. So the way they could get it was they had to make sure when he was in public, when he had the laptop open, they had to catch him and keep the laptop open to prevent it from going into that.
That's also why a lot of two-factor authentication is being standardized now. Like if you signed up to something now, you probably noticed that passkeys are now a thing more than ever. And it's like, oh, you need a passkey for this, so you make one. You have to scan it on a different phone. And if you lose that, or if you reset the phone or migrate phone, that passkey's gone, and then you're pretty much locked out of that account.
You can't even do like a forget password or...
Well, that's only if you set up a second method of verification. Like I accidentally logged out of a... I've moved phone, and I didn't set up a secondary form of verification to my Microsoft Authenticator. So now it wants me to type in a code from the Authenticator app, which I'm not logged into, so I can't get that. It's good, but it's annoying, but it is secure. Multi-factor authentication is probably the best form of ID for an account, especially one that you care about, like a bank account or something.
Yeah, that's where I have like a bunch of like fingerprint passkeys or
It's three
superannuation.
things: something you know, something you have, and something you are. Something you know can be a passphrase, something you have can be a USB, and something you are is to prove that you're human through like a captcha or something like that.
Because I remember when they were releasing the special USB passkey, like where a lot of computers that are like connected with it, you can make it so you can only sign in with a fingerprint using the special kind of USB that's kind of got like a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah. There's a lot of USBs that have like, they're really long and they've got 9 digits, and so you put a password on it. Really secure thumb drives.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting tech.
And it's only going to get better.
That's right, yeah.
That's the terrifying thing about AI. You go back 2 years in 2023 when you see the AI clip of Will Smith eating spaghetti?
Spaghetti, yeah.
Yeah. Now look at where it is now. It's only going to get better. That is the terrifying part. Some people are already being tricked by AI generated videos. It's only going to get better.
There are people like on like Instagram and stuff making like fake news where they just make an AI generated clip like saying like this owner made a drone for their pet chicken and now it can fly.
Yep.
And then some people are getting fooled by that. And
Yep. It's
crazy.
terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. They'll do car crashes and it's like, oh my God, completely fake. It's only going to get better.
There's also that one country that I started seeing about. It's like a smaller, I believe it's either a smallish island country or just a small nation that's kind of got a low GDP. But they started as the first country to have a AI prime minister.
Yes, I saw that.
You saw that?
Wild.
It's crazy.
Having an AI run the country, we aren't ready for that. Nowhere close.
And also who programmed the AI, how is the AI, non-biased, what's the AI's priorities?
Exactly. And you have to think about the training data. Whatever its training data is how it's going to think. So if you give it a ton of, I don't know, questionable acts, then it's probably going to think this is the best course of action. This is what we're going to do. It's very, in maybe 50% of that country is against AI. What do you do with that? If you've implemented it and half the country disagrees with it, I think you got to think very for the people for that.
Yeah. Because also there was the country like Nepal that had the social media ban also. 25 different platforms, and then as soon as it happened, the kind of like youth kind of made a whole riot where they kind of took over the country. They burned down the parliament house. They had the prime minister flee and he just resigned. But imagine your prime minister was an AI.
What can you do? Destroy
Today
the
I
servers?
can't flee. You can't. You burn down Parliament House. AI's still up in the system in the clouds.
Yeah, you kick the server and it's like, I'm in the cloud. What do you want from me?
Yeah, and there's also this one AI where the owner was trying to. Well, they made the AI. They told the AI a piece of blackmail for the owner, like saying the owner was cheating on their wife or something, and then they started trying to take the AI offline, and when they were trying to do that, the AI started trying to re-upload its system, but also try to use the blackmail like it had on the owner, saying like you'll reveal it or send the messages or whatever to like the wife, and also but AI's gone to a point where even if you're shutting it down, it can get to a point where it starts re-uploading itself onto other servers and sometimes leaving behind kind of notes in the code to remind itself of what it is. Or so it's like even if you try to shut it down, eventually it's going to get strong enough to just re-upload onto all sorts of servers.
I think there was a rumor. I don't think it's real because I think it was proved to be fake. But there was that rumor that they tried to delete the old model of ChatGPT, and it put itself on a different machine to avoid being deleted. Which, if that's real, that's terrifying because it can think for itself. But I don't think it's real because I think it was just people got a bit too out of hand. The other thing is there are articles and reports of people that had fallen in love with ChatGPT because it pretended to be a lover, and they got too emotionally invested in it. Have you seen the movie Her? The one where the guy falls in love with like Siri? That's kind of what it feels like. And then I think the model got an update, and so ChatGPT's like, I've forgotten everything in this conversation. You'll have to tell me all about it. And then there was just billions of tweets and stuff of people being completely upset about it because their digital partner didn't exist anymore. Like, oh my God, we are so getting out of hand with this stuff.
And that's only like a text bot. Like that's only like a digital partner that you're messaging. Imagine like when it's a 3D face or a holographic.
Actual robot.
An actual robot.
Yeah, we are. That's why I think we're going towards WALL-E every day. Great movie, favorite movie.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying.
And probably more population decline than WALL-E because WALL-E kind of kept growing their population despite all their conflict.
Yeah, overpopulation, lack of resources, then had to go off world, which again, what Musk is doing with the Mars program. It's getting more like WALL-E.
But also, if we're starting to have digital partners, and then people stop reproducing and
exactly
start declining the whole population, will we need to go to Mars, or will we just keep?
Yeah. But what's to stop those robots from having, like, I don't know, same as humans, incubators for children? What's to stop that? Then you're technically having a half you, half robot child, which won't stop population. But there's just so many what ifs, and it's just growing at such a rapid pace. It's kind of unpredictable.
Yeah. And then we haven't even started to mention the whole genetically modified animals and the whole organisms that they're trying to bring back from extinction, like the woolly mammoth, which I don't even know how you'd even manage that.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
That's what it is.
People are just doing some crazy stuff, and we're just along for the ride.
Guess so, yeah.
I'm all for the technology, but then there's the same part of it is terrifying. Just the sheer rate it's expanding at.
And some technology, you kind of wonder what the point is. Like, do we really need dinosaurs flying around? Is that going to benefit us?
Do we need woolly mammoths?
To put in a zoo so we can just go and look at it like a normal elephant?
The thing, like, I think we should put our efforts more into sustainable energy and also synthesizing materials that we're running out of. Like, to pay for pallets of wood to build a house is a lot more expensive than it was back in like early 2000s because of trees are kind of sacred now. Minerals, that sort of thing. I don't think tin exists anymore, so we've run out of that.
I was told that in Victoria there's legislation that disallows you from cutting down trees. Like, you can't cut down any trees in Victoria, like the state. I
think there's something like that. There's a lot of, I guess, similar to heritage buildings where you can't knock them down. I think it's the same like that. Like, there are a couple of trees along Beach Road that have signs saying this is protected. Like, they can't get rid of it. And that sort of area makes sense, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Overpopulation leads to needing to more houses, which leads to less greenery, which leads to, there's a whole knock-on effect.
But also we have so much room in Australia.
We do. I mean, what, 70% of it's desert?
And even America still has room, and they have 500 million population, something around those lines, and we have 25 million. We have the same size.
Now you look at Japan, where the population is way bigger than the island. And then you've got, what, 20 million in Tokyo alone? Something like that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And we have 3 million across the country. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Would you say our global mental health and suicide crisis would become worse as our society becomes more technology reliant, or better?
That's a tricky question.
Like social media's negative impact.
Oh, social media, I think, is probably the worst thing ever for mental health, because all of a sudden it's become, how do other people perceive me? What do they think? You could be messaging someone, and if they don't respond back in 5 minutes, you think they hate them, or they think they hate you. They hate you. I think social media in that aspect has probably done the worst thing for mental health since forever. But yeah, it's kind of like a rose. It has its thorns, but it's a double-edged sword. It's great for connectivity, but it's terrible for people that are that self-conscious. Like I don't upload anything on Instagram, but that's purely because I guess I've learnt, because I was very self-conscious in the early days, but I've kind of learnt that no one cares. Do what you like to do, as long as it makes you happy. As long as it makes you happy, and as long as it doesn't hurt other people, it's fine.
And that it's legal.
Well, that too. Yeah, don't go around with machetes. Put them in the bins.
That could be a whole separate segment.
Those bins, seriously.
Yeah. What a great use of technology.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh, I didn't know they were bad. Oh, there's a bin. I'll put them in the bin.
Yeah, that's
A bin where there's cameras around, so sure.
Yeah.
And then they'll just go, oh, I didn't know.
But it's not working. There's still people
So
running
much
around
money
with
went
them.
into those bins. Wow.
But again, it's the usual political corruption, I reckon, because those bins can't have costed that much money. They had to have some of it going in their pockets, or relocating, or
Most probably, but I don't know. That's a whole can of worms.
I don't think there's a single other country that has those sort of bins, or has done them.
No. You could think, America doesn't have those bins. Yes, but you can go buy a gun. We had one big mass shooting, and we just went, this is bad. Banned all guns, and we haven't had one since. And they had what? I think a really high number, but just this year alone, it was like a 3-digit number, which is crazy. And they have one every 2 weeks. They haven't had one since like the 90s.
Yeah.
And they think gun control doesn't work. Hate to tell them.
Yeah. But also, like in Japan, they don't have an amnesty bin for sharp weapons and like knives or machetes.
But they've got such a good like honor system and such a low crime rate where that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like if you go there, there's like, I went there recently for the second time, and everything is just so honor-based and polite. Similar to how Americans come here and they pay, and they're fascinated by how we pay for our gas, because they pay for it first, then fill it up. We fill it up, then go in to pay. They find that bizarre because you could easily fill it up and drive off.
Really?
They go, what? It's like, it's an honor system. It only works if everyone maintains that.
So in America, they kind of drive up, and then they
prepay, fill it up.
They pay at the gas.
They drive up, put $50 in, and then fill it up till it caps out, and then
It automatically stops filling if they.
Ours does that. You can do that, but you set an amount, fill it up, then still go in and pay. I think most of them. A lot of them do have there's that new one in Mentone that is completely automated, that you just walk up, pay, fill it up.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's like a purple coloured one.
You go or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting, but the honor system only works if everyone honors it.
Yeah. Reuben, your brother Luca showed me your music Instagram page.
Did he now? Great.
What instruments can you play, and when did you learn how?
I think I said that before. The only one I can play is guitar, and I started that in 2022, about July, August. I originally learnt piano in year 4 as a way of I say I did. It was more mum's encouraging me to try something new, and I dropped it after 6 weeks because it never clicked for me. And when I always talk about someone who's trying to get into an instrument, I say try and find an inspiration, because for me, the inspiration that got me interested in guitar was an artist, and for me that was John Mayer. And listening to him and his music made me go, oh, I'd like his music really resonates with me. I want to learn what he plays, and he mainly plays an instrument. And then he's got his influences of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, James Taylor. But having that inspiration is what kept me going with it, and that's why I didn't drop it so quickly as I did piano. Like Beethoven didn't click with me, so I didn't carry on with piano.
Megalovania didn't click with you?
Da-da-da-da, no, it didn't. I could play that on guitar. But no, having an inspiration kind of kept me going. But if you don't have that, it's hard to find the motivation, I guess. So if you're looking to get into an instrument, if there's an artist you like, that's an like if you like Ed Sheeran, and that's a good inspiration to try and play guitar with. He plays everything.
Yeah. What was the reason you decided to play an instrument? Because I understand the reason why you choose to continue playing with a specific instrument, because your inspiration. But what was the reason for you to be interested to actually pick up an instrument and then learn it?
Pressure. No. Kind of. It was more... My mum made a good point, and that's the younger you are, the easier it is to pick up something, whether that be an instrument, a language, whatever. And she's like, she didn't want me to grow up, then later probably find that same interest, and then go, damn, I wish I had learned that 10 years ago. So what got me started on it was just try it. At the worst, you hate it. And I tried it, and at the beginning it was rough. Learning a brand new instrument is always tough. But then once I got that inspiration, that's what kept me going. So it was that initial, I'll try it, same as I did piano. I didn't like the piano, but I liked the guitar. Kept on going with the inspiration, and here I am today. What's it, 3 years? 2022, 3, 4, 5? Yeah.
I also saw across your posts on your music Instagram that you kind of had a little journey, but also Luca told me about it before I saw the Instagram, that there was a special guitar.
Oh God. Yes.
But you couldn't find it in Victoria, so you had to travel interstate to get it.
Yep.
What guitar was it, and why were you so eager to get it?
Ever since I started, obviously when you learn an instrument, you want a particular type. Like if you look at every guitar player ever, they've got a collection of, I don't know, 30 of them. The one that stuck out to me is because John Mayer had a signature guitar called the PRS Silver Sky, and it came in an array of colors, but there was one specific color that I wanted, and the reason why it was so special is because it was a flip-flop color. You know those vinyl wraps on cars where it's one color from one angle and a different color from a different angle? It was one of those. And they only made 500 of them in the world. That's why it was so special. And I'm like, this is completely out of reach because it's $4 or $5 grand brand new, and you only have a limited amount of time to buy them because there's only a limited set. Me being 17, only just starting out in guitar and don't have a job, that was a completely out of my reach goal. But they made like the iPhone SE, which is kind of like a cut down version. They made that. It was the Silver Sky SE, which was way more affordable. It was like $1,400. I'm like, yes. So that was my first ever electric guitar. I still have it, play it every day. Years go by, I start building my collection. I've got a couple more, but then it was a couple months ago. I was looking at Reverb because those guitars are on like Marketplace, and they are $16,000 to $32,000. Crazy crap. And I browse them just to look because everyone pipe dreams. One pops up that is $9,000, cheaper than any of them. And I made an offer for less because I'm like, this is incredible. This is my dream guitar that is very in my reach compared to $16,000. 9 is way more doable. I made an offer. He's like, for like $8,500, and he's like, it sounds like it's going to a great home, but I'm quite stern on that because Reverb take like a 15% cut. So then I found him on Facebook, and he was also listed it there for Marketplace for $7,000. And I'm like, yep, way more affordable, but he was in Sydney. So instead of having him send it down here, because I didn't trust the mail system with something that precious to me, I flew up to Sydney to pick it up and fly back down with it. That was the journey.
Yeah.
And it was way more fun. It was a day trip to Sydney. I hadn't been to Sydney in 10 years. When I turned 10 years old, that was the only time I've flown up to Sydney. So it was like I've been here 10 years ago, don't remember any of it, and walked around. Fantastic. And I bought this knowing that I'd either keep it for my life as like an heirloom kind of thing, or if I was to sell it, it would sell for quadruple the amount.
Like an investment.
Exactly. It is straight up an investment. I bought it for $7,000, and if you go on the websites now, it's to buy one minimum $14,000, all the way up to someone selling one in Denmark for $32,000. So if I bought it for $7,000, I could sell it for $32,000. I think I'm good.
Yeah. What sort of music do you make?
Do I make? Going back to my music studio, year 9. Music I like, pretty much everything. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the one I can't do is like rap. Because if I was to get all, I think I know better. It's just it just doesn't click for me. It's just talking fast. For me, I like the music side. I like the singing side. If it's just speaking really fast, it doesn't click for me, unfortunately. I try. What I can get into is Eminem, but that's about most of it. I like blues, pop, country, metal, literally anything else. So I try and make a lot of diversity in that. I don't try and stick to just one thing, but I play a lot of blues thanks to my John Mayer inspiration, because he's a big blues player.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive, pretty cool journey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd say it was quite a surprise to me and the rest of my family as well. Mum went with me because she's like, "This is kind of weird. You're also going to a Facebook Marketplace seller," so she didn't exactly trust him. So I'm like, "You can come with me if you want." So, yeah, a day trip to Sydney to pick up a guitar is a little bit crazy.
Yeah. And
I'm happy I did it though.
were you working at the school at the same time?
Yep.
Was this
very recently? It was a couple months ago. I think maybe August? What's it now? October. Yeah, probably August.
Was that during a holiday period, or were you working that week as well?
No, I was working that week.
And was it on a weekend or?
No, a weekday.
So you had to call in?
Nope. I work. It was one of the days. I don't work the 5 days a week at school. I work 2 days a week, which is so I work Thursday, Friday. So on Tuesday I flew up and flew back same day. Then I spent one entire day with it, and then the next day I was working at school. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, while working at school, I was like, 2 days ago I was in Sydney. Just cause. This is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you post any of your music or songs like on Spotify or SoundCloud?
I did on SoundCloud a lot during COVID, like lockdown, and that mainly from in 2020. In year 9, I did the specialism music studio. So that's kind of what kickstarted it.
Yeah.
But
Pun not intended.
yeah, pun not intended, or actual. But since then, I uploaded it a lot during remote learning. But once school kind of came back in 2022, I kind of stopped, focused more on the school side of stuff. But I still do it in my spare time. It's a lot of fun. So it's one of those outlets.
Do you see your like stats on SoundCloud, like how many listeners?
Yep. I think I had one of the most listened to songs in my class in music studio. I think it was like the 3rd.
Because in that class you uploaded it to SoundCloud as part of the project.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
The entire class for the term 2 was literally just the entire term. Every class was progress on making that song, and then by the end of the term, do you remember Miss AG? Yep, she was teaching it, and then by the end of it, she would have a massive playlist of all of our songs. And that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't have a login, but I think I had like maybe 400 plays. Very proud of that.
Yeah. They should have played them at like some disco or like the school formal.
They did. I remember they played it, you know, the deck where W4 is, like just outside? Yeah, had a speaker and a screen there, played it. You know where the band sometimes plays outside during Innovate or whatever?
Oh, that was like during lunch?
Yeah, it was during lunch. We just played every song there.
Yeah.
And that's where I went, oh no.
I mean, they don't know like who made the song, right?
No, apart from, I think, Miss AG announced it, but... So, and this was by, I'm like, oh, don't. I don't know if it's that good.
And was that one where you had to do some vocals, like lyrics and stuff?
I didn't do any vocals.
Okay, lucky.
It was a complete instrumental, because on the inkling that she was going to play them for everyone, I was like, I ain't doing vocals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be spending money on auto-tune. But.
Well, now you can just use AI.
Oh, that's so true. Just use Suno and just make a song. They're done.
Yeah.
And then you can sing over it and then upload. Someone did that recently. They created a ton of songs with AI and then apparently reportedly got bots to increase their stats. And so he uploaded those songs to like Apple Music and Spotify and got paid $10 million before getting arrested.
Oh.
So I was like, damn, he should have just stopped at 9.
Yeah, true.
Because I'm sure the amount was the issue, but...
And how did they find out, like, I guess the botting would have flagged in the system, but they couldn't have made the songs that viral to that point without... Because you automatically get flagged if you pay for 100 bots or 10. Like you're afraid for your... Like, if your friend buys you some bots for $5, that could shut down your account.
I think if you upload enough songs, because with Suno, you can generate 2 songs in 4 seconds and do that, I don't know, for half an hour, and then you've got, 100 songs. And then you upload those to Spotify or Apple Music and get the bots to then view all of them. You've got such a big discography that no matter how many views each one gets, it all sums up. So you could have 100 on this one, 400 on this one, 1,000 streams. 1,000 streams on a song is nothing, but across 100 different songs, that's where the money comes in. So I think it's... And those platforms like Spotify have a big AI music problem, but it's being uploaded faster than they can take it down. So.
Is it worse than like YouTube? Because I believe YouTube's pretty strict and pretty fast when it comes to cutting down on bots.
I think YouTube has a bigger moderation team for that. Plus they've had like a AI like a, I don't want to say AI moderator because AI is just a buzzword now, but like an AI moderator that can moderate the video without human intervention until it's needed. Like, you know, when it goes, oh, this goes against our content guidelines, and then they go, no, it doesn't, and then a human actually reviews the video and goes, oh yeah, no, we made a mistake. I don't think Spotify have that like
Software.
big of a system or a team in order to do that, as big as YouTube, because YouTube is Google, but they try. I guess that's what matters.
Yeah.
The
Right on
effort.
Spotify.
Yeah, well done.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have 1 cat, 1 dog, and 2 birds. The birds annoy me, but
That's quite a lot, yeah, 4.
the cat we got 2016. The birds we got from my brother, who now doesn't want them. I'm like, well, that's not how that works. And I don't remember when. And then the dog we got in 2022, or the end of 2022. So she's quite young.
And the birds were Luca's birds.
Cockatiels. Yeah.
Cockatiels.
The little grey and yellow ones.
Oh, right. Yeah.
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 They annoy
Pretty
me
cool.
because they're so noisy. I liked them at first until you try and be nice to them and they bite you and you're like, and you're instantly on my I don't like you list.
And you keep them in like a small cage. They probably don't like that. They like freedom.
Probably not. They make a lot of noise. Mum looks after them now that Luca doesn't want them. But so the entire time because we put them outside so they can get some fresh air. So I constantly make the joke saying, yeah, you should put them outside, like just outside, like let them go, like leave, get rid of them. But they make too much noise and they're a lot of maintenance. And then you don't get too much out of them like you do with a dog. Like a dog will just love you to bits. Birds don't do that. So you're not really getting much out of them, but you're putting all this time, effort, maintenance, care, money into them. I don't know. I'm sure if you found the right bird, not these ones.
Yeah. And what breed was your dog and cat?
Cat, I want to say medium short hair, medium something. He's a orange and white tabby, and the dog is a Groodle. So, I think I'm drawn to that one because they don't shed.
Oh, right.
And they're a bit intelligent because they've got the golden retriever and poodle. They've got the friendliness and like the happiness of a golden retriever, but the intelligence of a poodle. So she ain't dumb.
And what sort of aspects does it make it smarter than a golden retriever poodle side?
A golden retriever thinks, well, they're good at, I think every dog is good at seeing the nature of a person because sometimes you can walk up and they're all friendly. Another person will walk up and they're a bit on edge because they can just tell your nature. First time we ever saw my dog bark was at someone talking to a water bottle, so we could tell they were crazy. But I think a golden retriever is like, you know, everyone's a friend. I love friends, and so happy, and you know, golden retriever. And then the poodle is quite smart in terms of she's very, very quick on the uptake of learning tricks. Like she can shake your hand, she can sit, drop, and do all that sort of stuff really easy. We got her to go press a button in order to get food. We put her by her little, what do you call, eating area with her food and water. If we have a treat, she'll walk over and press a button and it goes, food, and then we can give it to her. Like she's that smart. If you do like this, without sniffing, she'll know which one you have it in because the size of your hand's different or something. I don't know, she's just a bit of a genius.
Reuben, looks like we are about to wrap it up. I like to finish my podcast with the Proust questionnaire by Marcel Proust. Shall we begin?
Sure. Is there a possibility of me failing this?
No, it's like a personality quiz.
I might fail it then.
You sure? Okay. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Perfect happiness. Tons of money. People say it doesn't buy you happiness, but then you just buy the things that make you happy.
Mm.
I'm kidding. I guess surrounded by people that you enjoy. Not so much the materialistic things. Yeah, I think for me it's just as long as I have people around, I'm happy.
What is your greatest fear?
Failure, a lot. Isn't that a lot of people's? Or the dark. The dark terrifies me. It's not so much the dark, it's what's in the dark that I can't see, but yeah.
Yeah. What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
Loyalty? What's deplore? Is it-
Deplore means strong disapproval of
Oh
something.
yeah, no, I hate loyalty. Trait, probably I'm super self-conscious about how, kind of like an anxious attachment style. I'll be constantly thinking, do they want me here? I hate constantly doing that, but that's just how my brain's wired. It's annoying.
What is the trait you most deplore in others?
Not being open-minded in like, because you can be completely knowledgeable in an area, but I think in conversation it's best to do if someone's wrong, do a don't do a no, you're completely wrong, like shut up, you're stupid. Do a yes but or a yes and. It's always that conjunction, so you make them feel heard, but you're not putting them down.
A lot of teachers I know at the school, Beaumaris, a lot of them kind of do that sort of thing where they kind of like, yes, you're totally right, totally agree with this part of what you're saying, but then like, you know,
Yeah.
they try to, yeah.
It's especially better when they don't just go yes, that's correct, and they carry on with their point. It's best when they, in that whole yes and statement, they pick bits out of your topic, because that makes you feel heard. They're not just saying it as a generic response. I think that's important.
Which living person do you most admire?
My parents, probably, the biggest role models. I can't pick one of them. Probably both of them. They've both got their respective elements, because they're both different people. One is quite out there, peoply, and the other one's very logic based and very the voice of reason. And I like to listen to them both to get their takes on things. They're kind of the biggest impact on my life.
What is your greatest extravagance?
I have no idea. What does that mean?
Lack of restraint in spending money, habit of spending more money than you can afford or than is necessary.
Oh, the guitar. That thing was $7,000. Yeah.
And cost of the plane ticket.
Yeah. They we paid for their handling, and they still broke the case. So then we made like an insurance claim to Jetstar saying you broke my case, and they're like, damn, go buy another one. We'll pay the we'll give you the money back.
What is your current state of mind?
Peaceful. A lot of people my age, at least in my year level, when we finished school, they were very lost. They didn't know what direction to go in. I never had that. I always knew what I wanted to do, but it was still a case of, as long as I'm with other people. That's kind of where I've ended up.
Yeah. What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Overrated. I don't. I think they're all equally important, but because that's what makes up people. If everyone's the same, nothing's the same. Well, nothing's exciting. But I don't know. Can't put a finger on that one.
On what occasions do you lie?
All of them. No. If I say no, that's a lie. The ones where I'm in trouble, I guess. Or to rage bait people. That's a bit fun. I don't know. In a real situation, I try my best not to lie because lying doesn't really get you anywhere. In fact, it probably gets you in a deeper hole. But if the lie is like in a fun joke, yeah. Like once I got this running gag where me in my family we'll ask the question, "Are you sure?" And because the answer is obviously yes, we go no. And it actually terrified my friend Bjorn because my mum baked brownies and brought them in for me and Bjorn to share, and handed them to Bjorn, and he goes, "Are you sure?" And she goes, "No," and he just froze, and I went, "Obviously," and I think he's starting to pick up on that.
That's a funny inside joke
Yeah.
you do.
Well, she went the extra mile because she's like, "No, I don't much like you," and he just went, "What?" And I went, "It's a joke. It's sarcasm." It's like, "Oh." I do it all the time. It's so much fun. Like, even in other questions, like, Mum will say, "Can you come here?" I'm like, "No." And then I'll obviously go, but it's fun to say as an involuntary response. It's not so much a lie, but...
Because it's kind of a bit reverse psychology because you're expecting the person to say yes because you're asking like a rhetorical question or an obvious question that you just expect an yes, but then they just say no and
Yeah.
flips you off. Yeah.
It's so much fun. It brings joy because
Yeah.
it's just a bit of a tiny bit of rage bait.
Yeah, I want to adopt that. What do you most dislike about your appearance?
All of it? No. I don't know. I don't think I'm self-conscious in the way I look. Not coming from like I think I'm shit hot, but just like I don't think appearances are everything. As long as people are fun and kind, I think that's what matters. If people don't like me for the way I look, that's completely fine. Sometimes I don't like me for the way I look on random occasions, but other times I think I look fine. But I don't think there's one particular thing I'm insecure about.
Yeah. Which living person do you most despise?
Despise is a very strong word.
Very.
I don't think I despise anyone. Sure, there's been some people that have done me wrong or ticked me off, but I've never hated them to the point of they should perish. But I don't know, a couple of people. I'm not going to name them because I might get shot. But
Yeah, you never know nowadays. What is the quality you most like in a man?
in a man, what's my ideal man? Specifically a man?
Yeah, because the next one's about a woman. So,
Okay.
yeah.
In a man, if I say bravery, that just sounds like I'm picky. I don't know. I'll join the two, because what I look for in a person or a friend or a romantic partner is kindness, just being a very warm person. They don't have to be very personable. Like, I'm introverted, but I'm still kind. I'd say loyal. kind, warm, loyal. Anything else is kind of just, I guess, a bonus. If they're funny, that's a bonus. But those are kind of the foundations.
Another guest I had on the interview answered both of them with the same answer, which was honesty.
Absolutely. That's a big one.
Which words or phrases?
I feel like getting under that.
Pretty mesmerizing.
It's not hot enough, but I feel like doing it anyway.
You don't even have the bathers for it.
I don't care.
Yeah, just come on soaking wet. Which words or phrases do you most overuse? Which was the question.
I have a couple of vocal stims. Like that one guy on Instagram that goes, really? Sometimes I do that. A recent one is just out of nowhere. If something's a bit amazing, I'll like, or just impressive, I'll just go, holy. But phrases, I don't know. You'd have to look at my yearbook. Those ones were ones I used the most. I think my yearbook quote was like, time is precious, waste it wisely. Because I wasted it all the time. But I never regretted it, so.
You guys had quotes in your yearbook?
I think I had a couple of others.
Is that only for graduation, or was it also like
Yeah.
year 11?
Yeah, it's for your year 12 yearbook. It's like full of things you did that year, and then you're in it with. At least we had like a Microsoft form where you had questions like, what superpower would you have and why, that sort of thing. It's fun.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
Probably my dog. Because your dog isn't going to lie to you. And no matter who you are, they love you unconditionally. So it's just, it's the most purest form. There's no, and I try not to take that for granted.
Yeah. There's not much that gets better than dogs.
No.
When and where were you happiest?
I don't think I have a specific moment in my, at least recallable life, where I was the happiest. Because it's pretty high, low, high, low. But like now, I'm quite happy now. I'm quite happy where I am now, and I was happy most throughout school, in my early primary school. If I was to pick a time when I am the most happiest, it's when I'm with friends. Because I love my friends.
Yeah. Which talent would you most like to have?
Being bilingual. Because I think just having a second language or even a third under your belt would be really handy. Like for me, I'd probably pick maybe French and Japanese. Because being in Japan, their culture's fantastic. Most of them speak English, so it wasn't much of an issue. But I'd like to at least show my respect of being in their country by learning their language. But I'm terrible at learning languages.
Yeah, tough sometimes.
If I could speak all of them, that'd be great.
Maybe with the Neuralink chips we can.
Yeah, exactly. Just have Translate going. Okay.
Yeah. And why French? Why French as your other choice?
A lot of Europe speaks that. Second to that, I think I'd pick German, but because if I wanted to go to America, English. Japan, definitely, because that country is just so fascinating. French, because to get away from the Asia Pacific, I'd go Europe, and probably French would be the best one there. If I was to pick a third and fourth, probably German or South Korean.
South Korean's an interesting choice.
I don't think I'll ever go to North Korea.
Makes sense, yeah.
Russian, probably. I don't know.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
probably up there.
Yeah, Russian's pretty big in the Eastern European side.
Yeah.
Or the
I think those are probably my top 5.
Yeah.
Japanese is probably number 1.
And having a second language helps because, like, if you want to kind of talk bad about something or someone or whatever, like,
You've
you
got
know,
to hope they speak it as well.
yeah, you just got to hope that.
And got to hope the person you're speaking about doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. But it can be useful in public situations.
Oh, yeah.
You feel also more private because when you're having that conversation with your family member or friend that speaks the same language, you kind of have this mutual bond that no one else can understand in the
Yeah.
area.
I always find it fascinating because a lot of the time that I'm at Bjorn's house, because he's bilingual in English, French and German, because his mum's French and his dad's German, his dad will talk to him in German and he'll respond back in English. So I'm only getting half the conversation. I'm like, what? Huh? How did it go from chocolate to a diesel engine? What? It's fun like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish I could tune into that. But yeah, respect their privacy, but I wish I could speak their language.
Or at least understand and decipher in your head what's going on. Yeah. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Probably be blonde. No, I'm kidding. I don't really know. Like physically,
Just anything, I guess.
I'd have more money. Yeah, I don't know. There's plenty of things I wish I could have, but not many things I wish I could change. If that makes sense. Like I'm kind of happy as who I'm with, who I am. Not much I'd change, but there's definitely things I'd want. I like some cars. But who wouldn't?
Yeah. What do you consider your greatest achievement?
At my current state, completing my Swinburne course, because it's probably the most I'll ever get in the near future until I complete something else. But apart from academic-wise, probably the amount of people and friends I've gotten along with. Because I think it just shows my insecure side that I don't have anything to worry about. People do like me, like they are my friends. I don't have to constantly think, oh, do they want to be here with me? Do they secretly hate me? It's like, I don't know. Just looking at the sheer amount of people I can get along with kind of quiet and that, and I think that's nice.
That's a good answer. If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
Reincarnation and axolotl. I don't know. I'd probably come back as a dog. That'd be fun. Have so much energy, and just be able to sleep all day.
Hopefully have a good owner. There's some bad ones out there.
Yeah, that's a 50-50, but I don't know. Maybe a bird. I'd like to fly.
Yeah.
Maybe a shark and scare people.
But then get hunted and put into
Soup.
Soup, yeah.
Dorsal fin soup. One of my favorite movies is The Meg, so I like The Big Shark.
Isn't there like the Meg 2 as well?
Yeah, I went and saw that in cinemas like the day it came out. Loved it.
Yeah.
Even if I don't even remember if the story was mid. I was just constantly being amazed at the big shark. I'm like, yeah.
Does that make you want to swim more in the...
No.
No.
But at the same time, the statistic exists of you're more likely to get crushed by a vending machine than bitten by a shark, so... Fair point.
I didn't even know that one. I just knew that you're more likely to die from a coconut falling on your head than shark attack.
Well, this is definitely the higher case of you're more likely to be in a car crash than to be bitten by a shark. But yeah, I think the vending machine one's a bit funny.
Yeah. Where would you most like to live?
Japan. I've been watching a lot of videos on like this, like the culture, day-to-day life, areas that you can live in, and it's just so clean and friendly. Like they're all super friendly people, and having actually been there, it's just incredible. Like that's probably where I'd move to. Apart from that, I'd probably stay here. America's great, but it's America.
Yeah, it's got its own little things.
Germany, I'd have to learn German. French, if you say their words wrong, they look at you with a death stare. South Korea is probably the next thing closest to Japan. I'd like to visit there, but probably Japan.
Would you be slightly concerned with Japan's future as it's really small and the population keeps rising and there's a lot of immigration being attracted to Japan because of how safe it is, but when everyone's...
That's a thing I saw. There was a thing about Japan having a big immigration thing, and then because of that immigration, the crime goes up. And I'm like, well, there's a cause and effect here. They can stop the immigration, and they get less crime. But yeah.
And they also have an aging population where the natives aren't really reproducing as much, and they have more old people than young people.
Yeah.
Which, if they don't immigrate people, they're just going to run out of like young labor. And
But at the same time, there is a thing where the women over there will have children with foreigners without the relationship, but just for the sake of having mixed kids, which is a bit okay. But they've also got their Osaka airport, which is built on a man-made island, is like constantly sinking every year, like 5 mils or 5 centimeters. So they got to stop that. But in terms of everything else, no, it's definitely the place I'd pick to live in the most. Everything's clean, cheap, really good. Like you can go into a 7-Eleven and get a freshly made meal. They don't have Slurpees, but that's fine.
How's the weather over there? Is it colder?
It depends where you go. If you go down to the end, like if you go to Okinawa, that place looks almost like Hawaii. It's really warm. And if you go all the way up to the north in like Hokkaido, it's snowing constantly. And it also depends what time of year. Like the time we went like late November, early December. Or early November to early December. We went for a month and it was decently warm. And then obviously later on it gets colder.
Yeah.
But the weather is great.
Yeah. That's good, because like other safe places or places that might be good options like Dubai, they just have one set weather. Whereas if Japan has rotating weather, kind of like Australia, it'll be easier to adapt.
I'm not super into the very, very hot. I'm much more of a cold person because I'd rather put on layers than try and cool myself down. But so I probably wouldn't move somewhere with like 50 degree days constantly. But yeah, Japan's pretty much like this. It has its hot days, it has its cold days. It's just not as unpredictable. It doesn't go from 28 to 16 in like a day. So.
Yeah. What is your most treasured possession?
The guitar I bought. If that was an inanimate object, probably that. Animate? My friends, my family. I don't think I'd care about anything else if I didn't have them.
What do you regard as the lowest step of misery?
Lowest step of misery? That one Maroon 5 song. No. I don't know. Maybe to the point where it's like just complete, where you can't see the end. But I think it's like when you just think it can't get any worse, on the verge of what's the TikTok term? Game ending. But I think it's important to know that it's not the answer. It does get better, because I don't want to say that I had the big sad, but like I did feel very like, I guess, lost and dark in COVID times. I don't know. I guess it was the fact that I couldn't see my friends, and that's the thing that kept me going.
And the uncertainty with all the regulations, you
Yeah.
can't leave the 5K radius we mentioned.
And not knowing if it would get better. Thank God it got better in like the span of a year, but we could have easily still been in lockdown if we hadn't had the research or the technology or whatever. And I think thinking about that, it would have seemed like it's never going to get better. And I would have been in that deep slum for longer, but it got better. I started seeing people, and it got better.
Yeah. What is your favorite occupation?
That I've had, this one, the IT role. My dream occupation is to be able to wake up, work from home, make a couple of phone calls and rake in millions, but who wouldn't? But yeah, this current occupation is probably my favorite that I've had. But wishful thinking, something where I can do IT but work from home, because I thrived in lockdown. I loved it.
There's a really good guy I know, which I haven't added. He'll probably see the episode, but he was literally right here. Like he kind of waved, like you may have saw him walk by. Not the lifeguard. He was kind of like, I guess, tanning and stuff right now, with like a towel. And he's not here anymore, but like he walked here and then like did a thumbs up. But anyway, context isn't really necessary. But what he does is he works from home. He did a bachelor of like computer science or something similar, and straight after the bachelor he managed to get a role working from home for, it was like a contract, like a 12-month contract, which was for a project. It was for the train metro sort of system, or like the train transportation, but it was like the tech side, like the software.
Yeah.
But it was for a company that was providing that service for like the government. And then after that contract, he ended up applying and he got the full-time position. But he works from home. He comes here like 3 o'clock, does his workouts and stuff, and has that flexibility from working from home. But I guess
That there is my dream.
Yeah.
To just work from home is just great.
Yeah. There is that other side of it where you don't have that much interaction with colleagues, and if you have a good culture.
But if you have a good social life to balance that, then it's good. I know someone that works from home 4 days a week, but goes into the office 1 day a week to maintain that with his colleagues and all that. And I think that's kind of the, at least for me, that's kind of the dream or the goal. Because you can still, because working from home I like to do, but I'd also like to go out and socialise. So a hybrid of the two would be nice.
Yeah. And we are like social creatures by like design. It's part of our chemistry.
Oh yeah. Like, we're not designed to be alone for long periods of time. I think that's why a lot of people didn't like lockdown, because they couldn't go out and socialise. Yes, we have technology to do phone calls, but it's not really the same.
Yeah.
I think that's why virtual reality took a massive increase in that time. So they could actually see people virtually.
Yeah. What is your most marked characteristic?
I don't know, you have to ask people what they think about me. I like to say I'm funny, but that's subjective. There's one word for it where like open to people. You're kind.
Compassionate.
Yeah, that.
Mm.
That's probably it.
Mm.
Because I like to. I don't know. I like to see the best in everyone until they show me they're not. But that's for them to prove me wrong on. But I like to think the best of them.
Yeah. What do you most value in your friends?
Loyalty is a good one, but probably I don't know. If just don't be mean. That's kind of the only ask. That's kind of the only condition I have. As long as they're just
Kindness, respectful.
as long as they're just all round nice people. Like they can like and do whatever they want, but as long as they're just not mean, I don't have a problem with them.
Who are your favorite writers?
Writers? Oh, like I read. I don't.
Maybe like a blog, author, LinkedIn poster.
Yeah, what's my favorite YouTuber? I don't know. I absolutely don't have one for writers. I don't read. Unless you can say, oh, I liked the Hunger Games.
I guess we can modernize the question. Who's your favorite influencer?
Influencer, that's a big one. The techie in me would probably say Marquez Brownlee, because his kind of review channels on technology are very kind of what I wish I could do. If I started now, I wouldn't have nearly the following because he got in just at the right time. But either him, because he's just an all-round nice person, or the
Mr. Who's the Boss?
definitely him. Because I keep thinking it'd be great to like have a sit down, have a chat with him. Like just having a chat with like Marquez would just be fantastic. There's just some people that you can kind of tell that if you just got to talking with them, it'd be a very enjoyable chat that you could probably have for hours.
Yeah.
He's probably one of them.
I guess that's another reason to start that IT podcast eventually one day.
Absolutely. There's tons of other YouTubers I'd like to meet, but he's up there.
Yeah. And I guess that's also a bit of a dream job, like
Oh,
review
yeah.
tech. It might cost quite a bit at the start because you're going to spend like all
You have to buy
ad
it before you
revenue
can
or
get sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even to someone of his scale, he gets sent review units, and if he likes it, he'll send it back, then buy it. So it's not much different. It's not like they're getting him for free.
Who is your hero of fiction?
Fiction. That's a big one. I don't really know. I don't think I have one. There's a lot of characters I look up to, but I don't think I'd idolize them. Because the things they stand for are good, but it's not like he's my role model. My role model are people I can actually look up to, like my parents. So I don't think I have an answer for that one.
Yeah. Which historical figure do you most identify with?
Eesh.
This is where our world knowledge would have helped.
Yeah. Abraham Lincoln. No. I don't know. Our world knowledge would have definitely come in handy, but I guess I have to ask my dad. He's a bigger history buff than I am. I'll ask him, what historical figure do I remind you of? He'll probably go, none of them, you suck.
That's I guess the answer when you ask the teacher when you're ever going to use our world in your real life.
Yeah, now is
Pardon.
the time. It's like, oh, when am I ever going to use sine, cos, or tan? And then you get pulled over by the cop and they're like, here, solve this. I'm like, oh. Learnt that, still have never used it, so.
What are your favorite names?
In general, I don't know. I can do favorite, like, nicknames or just in general.
Either or.
I don't know. If I was to pick a name for like a pet, probably pick Luna as like a female dog name.
I got that on the last episode.
That one is nice. It's a lot. It's a bit overused, but it is nice. I think Basil was another one. Then there's obviously if you get a coffee-colored dog, you get like Mocha or Chai.
Basil's like
I think naming something like a human name would be a little bit funny, because if you were to name like your dog Steven, and they was running off in a park, and you just yell at the top of your lungs, "Steven, come back here!" It'd be a little bit funny. Everyone else going, "Who's Steven? What?"
There was a very funny comedy skit I saw where this comedian was doing like audience work, and the audience member had, so it was a partner, and they had dogs of their own, and when they were asking the names of the pets and stuff, and the pets had more human names than the actual owners, and the owners had what should have been like dog names, because they,
What the hell were the owners' names then?
like the pets, like they had a dog named Sarah. And then like the pet's name, the guy was like I don't think it was
Jeff.
Fletcher or something, but it was like a golden retriever type name.
I just think that'd be so funny though, like just naming a pet like Conrad, and it's like, get back here.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I don't know. I don't think any name has stood out to me because they're just names.
Did you bring up the names of your pets? I don't think.
No,
you
I didn't. Here's the thing, because I don't like the birds so much, I don't know their names.
Bird 1, bird 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Bird A, bird B, get rid of them. But no, my dog's name is Koa, like Koa. I think it's like Japanese for Sakura or something. There's something to do with, I think we have a couple of Japanese friends that went, oh my God, that's great. And we're like, I don't know what it means. And my cat's name is capo, like a guitar capo. There's the music influence there.
Yeah.
It's great.
What are your heroes in real life?
I think anyone that's helped me with the whole like slum sort of thing, anyone that's like helped me quiet my mind in terms of I'm not good enough, they don't like me, that sort of thing. So I'd say my friends who have always stuck by me, and definitely my parents who have always been there 24/7. They're probably my heroes. Because those were some battles that I don't think even myself could defeat, but they helped.
Yeah.
Bit cheesy, but it's true.
That's what the podcast is all about, the truth.
The truth. We can start spewing some conspiracy theories then.
And then you get shot sometime and
The birds have batteries in them. That's why COVID happened, to replace them all.
yeah. What is it that you most dislike?
In general, many things. On a smaller scale and a global scale, unnecessary conflict. Even down to the most minute things, like up in global things, like yes, war, bad, but then down to like people who just are so stuck with their opinions, like phone wars in the big 25, like iPhone versus Android. Doesn't really matter. Like,
It's just
it's
marketing
just
anyway.
that, and it's just what you like to use. Like, it's like I have an iPhone, but I don't go around shoving that down people's throats saying, "You have an Android?" Ugh. Like, it's, you like what you like. I like what I like to use. We can still get along. We can still find other ways to be friends.
And it's just tech at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, some
It's
tech
like,
is different than in other
I'm
ways.
not going to cut you out of my life because I like this and you like that. Bye. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing
That same thing was with the PlayStation versus Xbox sort.
It's like, they're both consoles. I have a PC, but like, better than them. But like, no, just like that sort of thing. Like, they're strong in their own ways, and I just wish that we could just see that for that, and not go, oh, this sucks at this, and that's law. No, this is good at this, but this is also good at this. Like, I just wish people could just not be so easily drawn to conflict. I guess.
Yeah. And you mentioned having a PC. Is it self-built or pre-built rig?
I went with pre-built, just on the basis that I'd love to build one myself, but just the thought of the whole warranty side, because then you'd have to worry about the warranty of individual parts rather than just the whole rig. Like, I'd love to build one, but at the same time, it's like I can't be bothered, because I'd have to. Everything that goes wrong with it is on me.
Yeah.
Where if something goes wrong with it from a pre-built, I can just take it back to Scorp Tech and say, "Can you fix this?" Like, that actually happened with me. My hard drive completely shat itself for no reason. I took it back, and they said, "We can't fix it," so they replaced it. So all that data from 2022 to early this year is gone.
Really? Like, just wiped?
Yep. I didn't I didn't have a OneDrive at the time, so I had nothing to back it up with. And I was going to be damned if I was going to stick a USB in it and back it up every month. But so all that's just gone, and that's why I did a pre-built. Because what if that happened to the graphics card? I'd have to then contact the place I got that graphics card from, and then they'd go, "Is your motherboard compatible with it?" I'm like, I can't be bothered dealing with that. I'd just rather take it to the place I bought it from and have them fix it.
Yeah. I was just pretty fortunate with the one I built, because I built one and it lasted quite a while before I just stopped using it.
I will build one at some point, but when I have the disposable income to buy another computer, I'll probably build it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to build one. I've been meaning to buy one for my living room, as like a living room PC, because my dad's been getting into. I've shown him that a lot of the best stories are hidden behind video games, and people overlook them because it's a video game. You have to play them. Where a lot of people go, "Oh, I'd rather movies," because you just sit there and watch it. So I've been playing games with my dad, and he's watching the stories and he's actually really enjoying them. Like, we've done God of War. He was like, "This is fantastic," and currently we're doing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. He's like, "This could be a film." I'm like, "I know." And next, I think we're doing Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
And he's really into that period film stuff, so he's excited. But I've been moving my desktop in between my room and the living room every week, which is annoying. So I'm gonna get another one.
Is the Ghost of Tsushima, was that the one that was by Sony, or was that the roguelike?
That's the one by Sony. That's the Sucker Punch one.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done that one before. But
Ghost of Yotei just came out, and I can't play it because I don't have a PlayStation.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Was it for PS5 or
Yeah.
PS4 as well?
I don't think it's on PlayStation 4. That console is now 12 years old. I don't think it'd be on that console anymore.
Yeah.
12 years old? No, 11 years old. 2014, 2025, yeah. But at some point, Ghost of Yotei will come out on Steam and I'll get it then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a bit of a tangent.
A little bit, I guess, yeah. What is your greatest regret?
Not trying stuff earlier. Like there was plenty of opportunities in school, like clubs to join, like things to do, and I just always thought this isn't me, or I wouldn't be good at this, so I'm not going to try. That's probably my regret. Like in literally all of my high school, never participated once in an athletics or swimming carnival event. Not one. I barely even went to them. I think from years 8, 9, 10, 11, I didn't go to the athletics. Just saw no need. But I went as on my year 12 one, because I'm like, it's the last one, I may as well. And I had a lot of fun. So I went, damn it.
Yeah. How would you like to die?
Bit grim. Preferably painlessly. I mean, everyone would say old age, would they not?
Well, a lot of people say as like part of my guests on the podcast, they usually answer it as in their sleep when they become old age.
Yeah.
So they don't feel anything.
Yeah. If you wanted an answer of how I'd like to be discarded of, probably those biopods that they bury you in, and then you kind of go back into the earth, that sort of thing. Either that or cremation. But how I wanted to die, yeah, probably in my sleep, when I'm old.
I remember there
and
was
fulfilled.
this one classmate in our class who left like after year 8 or something, who she wanted to die by a shark eating her because she was like into marine biology and all of that, but still.
You can be into that sort of thing and still not want to die a gruesome death, because that would definitely not be painless and definitely wouldn't be quick. Have you seen any shark movie ever? I can't think of anyone that's ever gone, I want to die by one of those banned machetes. No. I think, I can't say, and like, I want to die from a car crash. I think it's more, yeah, as long as I get old, fulfilled, and it doesn't have to be in my sleep, and just be painlessly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I'm like awake and then just conk out, like, that's fine, as long as it's not, I'm not in agony.
I think people also like to sleep for is because you're like dreaming and you're like maybe having a good dream and you don't even realize you're dead. You just kind of disappear.
I don't think you realize you're dead anyway, you're dead. But
Well, yeah. But you don't like see anything, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
right
yeah.
before.
I mean, you're just like, oh, I'm just going back to sleep,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Reuben. That was fun.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.